What's going on, guys? What's going on? Trying a little bit of a long here off the floors. Again, not looking for much here, just playing a couple of micro contracts. We're already, sitting pretty decent on the day here. Not trying to do too much. What I'm looking at is this low of day, right? So I'm looking at this low of day. I'm going to make this a little bit different here. How the hell do I edit this? Make this dotted. So this is just a low of day that I'm looking at. We've pushed off of this low of day, right? So extended move to the downside. I've got my initial balance lows down here as well as at 20 SMA. Got the initial balance high here, and I've got my black box, which is a 30-minute opening range. I've got previous day highs and I've got previous day lows marked out. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Now, again, my price target's going to be somewhere closer into this 500 range, right? And that's ultimately what I'm looking for. Try to see exactly what it can do, right? Just taking a handful of scalps here on the day. Hey, what's going on, buddy? So again, just to kind of recap, thought process on this particular trade. Let me guys show you guys my chart. Thought process on this extended move to the downside. We had, opportunity to kind of continue up towards previous day high, which is a green line up here. We never really did that. Kind of pulled back a little bit the first time into this initial balance and 30-minute opening range low. We had a little bit of a dead cat bounce off of that. That created a lower high. And then once we really got through that initial balance low, once we got through that 30-minute opening range, right? Those two were kind of aligning perfectly together. Once we got through that, that's when that flush really started to happen, right? So I know a lot of the guys in my room at Evolution Traders, they took that short through the 30-minute opening range low, through those IB lows, and then, kind of just honestly just rode this 5-minute candle, right? But now that we've kind of put in this low, I've got the low of day here, 19,412. Now that we've kind of put in this low of day, what I'm looking at here is to see if it kind of holds, right? So this previous 5-minute candle, first candle that kind of, tested and broke through this hammer candle here, where we kind of wicked down and put in this low of day. So we kind of swept through there, and now it's kind of trying to retrace here. We are coming into lunch, right? So we're coming into lunch. I expect price action to dry up a little bit, but I'd like to ultimately see if we can get back into testing this 20-day moving average or this initial balance low. That's ultimately what I'd like to see. So on this current long position that I'm in, again, I'm just floating 2 micro contracts out there. It's it's nothing major. It's nothing to really write home about. We're in the profit just slightly, but I'm giving low of day as my stop loss. Again, the balance on this account, we had some good trades this morning, right? So if you guys are in Evolution Traders, you guys already seen the P&Ls, and we went through those trades already. This account currently is up $1,000. So even if this was to come back down and stop me out, it's fine. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Just kind of looking to see if we can get a little bit of a push higher here. Again, just depending on how I feel in this trade. Like at this point in time, we're going into a long weekend here, right? Long holiday weekend. Do I expect the markets to continue to keep moving moving as much later on in the day? No, not really. So we're just going to kind of see exactly what it wants to do. Again, if it does come back down and stop me out, so be it. That'll probably be the last trade that I take today. And then we'll just kind of go over the balance from there, right? We'll just roll over the balance into next week. So a little bit of rejection here at this prior little consolidation spot. You can see these wicks going back 8:20, 8:25, 8:30 in the morning Pacific Standard Time. Had a little bit of rejection there, a little bit of rejection here as well. So truth be told, what I'm looking at here is this low of day to see if this low of day holds for a little bit of a cheap long here on micros. Again, it's on micros. It's not trading mini contracts. I would not be trying to float a potential bounce here, especially when I'm going against a trend, right? So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that, the day started off decent, right? First hour of the day. And then we've had about an hour and a half worth of pullback. So again, I'm going a little bit against trend. And if you can see here, let me get the chart up. If you can see here, right, look at these at the previous day highs and the previous day low, where's price action at? Price action is smack dab almost in the middle, right? So when you have price action that's in the middle of a previous day range, it's basically just an inside bar day, right? So yeah, you're going to have those opportunities to make money between 19,690s and 19,300s, which is more than enough range to make money, right? I mean, we're talking about over 300 to over 350 points worth of range. So there's definitely enough room in there to make money. There's definitely enough setups that you're going to get on the smaller time frames. But in terms of continuation, you're not really going to get it until we get outside that range. Now, if we don't happen to get outside that range today, it's completely understandable, right? It's completely understandable due to the fact that, again, as stated, we're going into a long holiday weekend. I realistically wouldn't even expect this market to start doing anything until we come out of this holiday weekend, right? Summer is coming to an end. Kids are back in school. Markets should get back to a more orderly kind of rotation because we've had some big volatility lately. We've had some big ranges. We've had a lot of what, social media traders would call choppy days, right? So again, when you have big volatility and you have these big ranges where markets are kind of trading inside back and forth, it's a little bit hard. It's a little bit hard to kind of set your feet and actually make money, because stop losses and your risk that is being assumed is a lot. It's a lot more than we would like to take. And as we come down into this range here, we're currently down $100, $120 on this particular trade, 120, 118. So we've just flushed the lows here. This candle has just started going into lunchtime. I'm going to give it this candle closure before I get out of the trade. Okay. So typically how I work my stop losses is I've got a level, which is that low of day that has been broken. Okay. So what I'm going to wait for is if this candle, this current 5-minute candle, closes below that low of day, I'm going to take the hit. Okay. And it's currently this position on 2 micros down $100. Right. So what are we going to do? Right. So again, if it doesn't close below that, it's going to give me a little bit of opportunity to kind of stay in that trade. But how I will manage it after that is, let's say, for example, this trade doesn't close below the low of day, but then we have a following candle that continues to stay weak and confirms that low of day. That's my out. And I'll just take the hit on that and we'll go from there. So current balance on this account before this trade is said and done is $1,200.49. We're trading on Top Step X today. Again, I'm kind of filtering a little bit in between Apex and Top Step right now. As you guys know, I just recently requested a payout on the last pay period for Apex and it was approved. Minus no video proof. I didn't have to do none of that stuff. But I am hearing there's a lot of people that got that mass email about submit some video, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Whatever they got going on over there, that's beyond me. It's none of my business, to be honest. Does it suck? Yeah. Do I think that it's right? No. So I'm going to focus, I'm going to spread my attention from just, mainly this month I was working on a lot of Apex accounts, on a lot of those PA accounts. I'm going to start to spread my attention, okay, back over into my Top Step XFAs, and I'm thinking about adding one more firm. Okay, which firm that is, I don't really know yet. I've got a couple of them in mind that I'm kind of doing my research on, but you want to be diversified, right? I've also got a personal account that I've been flowing money into from the prop firm. So the way I do it is every time I take a payout from a prop firm, I make a deposit into my personal futures brokerage. Again, for those of you guys who are new here on YouTube, maybe you just came across my channel for I don't know what reason. I'm an options trader. That's my full-time gig. I trade prop on the side, right? So, I look at prop as secondary source of income, options being number one. I like to be diversified. I like to trade personal cash. I like to use prop firms. I like to trade stocks and options. And I figure the more eggs that I start floating around in more baskets, the better opportunity that I will have. Currently bouncing back a little bit here on the open position. So again, sometimes when you have those levels, right? And again, I'm not saying that this is not going to stop me out, but sometimes when you have those levels where your stop loss is the low of day, sometimes you breach it by a point or two, right? Sometimes they sweep those lows and then it goes in the other way. So I always use for my stop losses, especially when I'm playing micro contracts. If I was playing mini contracts, then I'm going to have a much, much tighter stop. But when we're kind of floating these micros out there, we're going to really let these zones play out, right? So I'm always looking for that candle to close below the level that I have as a stop loss. Current position, flirting with break even here. So we're just going to let it work. We're not going to really over stress it. We're not going to over manage the trade. We don't want to over manage the trade at all. Just kind of want to let it work. Got a good day there for Sean. Sean in the room, $300, 150, 119. That's a good day there. Julie also had a really good day there, $225 on one of her accounts. Who else do we got here? Felix has been piecing together a really nice month, up around $1,000 there. Claude had a really good day today as well. There's been some really good days today there. Elder continues to crush it, another $200 day on his Top Step accounts. And then Burks kicked it off with that $650 times 5 on his PAs. Very nice work there. Husky also had a nice day as well. Sorry guys, I'm just kind of reading through some of the messages here in the room. $394 on 2 plays. Very good. So took a 20 play as well as that 30-minute opening range. So I know a lot of us, right? If I get back to the chart here and kind of show you, a lot of us in the room this morning, we do a lot of our trading. Early on. And the majority of our trades that we're really looking for, if I go back here and I kind of look at this 5-minute time frame. So the trades that we took today that I know, about 70 to 80% of the room took was this initial long at 6:40 in the morning PST. We got back over the 20 SMA. Okay. Next candle confirmed. So the entry on this price was on the entry on this trade was 19,571. That went up to 19,584. Now I know a lot of my guys, they either, depending on the size that they're playing, they're either playing large size or they're looking for something around that 5 points take profit, or they're trading a little bit smaller size, maybe 5-6 micros, and they're looking for 10 to 15, even 10 to 20 points on their potential trades. Now the range of this candle was a 42-point range. So if you were trading on the micro side of things, one micro contract at a full stop loss would have been an $80 loss. So you kind of have to manage your P&L from there. If let's say you've got $150 max risk per trade, then 2 micros would have been your max pain on this for around $140, $150 loss. And then you're going to try to target at least probably half of the range of this reason why candle, anything between 15 and 25 points to the upside. Now, again, they're not going to be big home run flashy trades. Sure, you can try to squeeze out a little bit more, but it all comes down to your trading style and personality. Definitely trading over the 20 SMA gives you confluence to kind of hold. You did have a little bit of a pullback that did kind of come back into your range, but never close below your reason why or the 20 SMA. So that should have given you enough confidence to kind of hold this trade until you got your 5, 10, 15, 20 points. 5-minute time frame now, yeah, in these current market environments, I am using the 5-minute time frame a lot more. It's not to say that the 2-minute time frame is not working, but I'm just giving myself a little bit more time to kind of see bigger price action. Sometimes the 5-minute gets chopped up more than the 2-minute, and vice versa, so forth and so forth. But I've always been a 5-minute trader. Even when it comes to when I trade options, I've always been a 5-minute trader. It's only within the past year that I've gotten into trading the 2-minute when I feel like, again, and it's always a feel, but when I feel that we're getting enough range and enough movement on a 2-minute chart where I can take 1 or 2 trades and then kind of hang it up, right? I'm not looking to trade the 2-minute chart all day long. I'm not looking to sit here and take 25 trades on a 2-minute time frame. I'm still looking for those 1 or 2 good opportunities. And it just depends on the price action. But right now I've been using the 5-minute time frame a lot. It's just like kind of me getting back to my roots on what I've always been comfortable with. So this trade is approaching this 20 SMA. It's currently up $82. Again, guys, I just took this trade off of the floor here, off of this low wick here, using that low of day as a stop, kind of a little as a cheap little long there. It's currently up $80, and we're only trading 2 micros, right? So again, you don't really have to trade big size to make decent money, because even if you get in there and you take 2 or 3 trades, right, and you make $50 here, $80 here, $70 here, guys, you're looking at $150, $200, $250 days. So currently up almost $90 in this trade. I'm probably going to close it out here as we continue to test this prior little high here, $88. We're just going to take that $100 there, guys. So we're going to take the $100 there on that trade on those 2 micros. Not really going to trade anymore today. We're up 1,345 on 1,345 on this account. It is being copy traded between 2 accounts here at Top Step X. So for a Friday, that's fine. I'm going to continue to stay on here for a live stream and look at some more price action, see if I can help some people out and maybe, do some technical analysis for everyone. But what really put this account into the profit today was that 30-minute opening range. So if I go back to my chart here, go back to the big chart here, and it was this trade here. So this bar at 755, this black box, again, for those of you guys who are just jumping on, by the way, if you guys are just jumping on here, make sure to give me a like on the live stream. It really helps YouTube push it out to more traders so people see it on their feeds. It's completely free to hit the like button. So why I was interested in this short and why I had confluence in holding this is because there was a couple of things going on here. Okay, so there's a couple of things going on. Let me explain my thought process. Immediately off the bell, right? I never trade the first 5-minute candle. Also, that's another rule. I don't even jump into anything until at least the first 5-minute candle is closed. So at the open, we put in a little bit of a high, we come back down, it looks like it wants to break down, it holds, gets back over the 20. So now that the first 5-10 minutes is over with, now I can at least let some of that price action digest. I tend to always look for, on my 20 place, the second move. Now again, I'll raise my hand. I'm not perfect. Have I taken the first move? Have I taken the first move? Of course, I'm not perfect, right? I've jumped in right off the bell. But normally, those are my biggest trades, but they've also been my biggest losing trades. And it just frustrates the hell out of me because the range is just too big, right? And truthfully speaking, I'm a mini trader, right? So I trade the NQ. So I don't have, especially on a prop firm, I don't have that much drawdown. I can't let these trades whip around 25, 35, 40 points. I just can't. It's just because the NASDAQ, right? And I love trading the NASDAQ. So it's not about like, I need to trade the ES or anything like that. I love the NASDAQ. I come from trading stocks and options. And I'm a high beta trader. So I trade Tesla, Nvidia, Amazon. I trade tech. I trade the triple Qs. So I've always followed the Qs in terms of my options trading. So it was only natural for me to come into futures and trade the NQ, right? Does that make sense? I don't really trade ES stocks. And again, I know some of the stocks that are in the triple Qs are heavily weighted in the SPY, but that's not my index. You know what I'm saying? I don't follow the SPY. Again, you know, half the time it's correlated between both. They both correlate together a lot of the times, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. So once I seen us put in this 20 SMA play here, this was the first play here. I only took 10 points on this trade, but I did trade 2 mini contracts, so that was a $200 winner there. And then once we put in that high, I honestly seen this big wick and seen this inverse hammer. So what I did was mark out that what was going to be the 30-minute opening range high, right? And I told myself this: if I play a couple of micros and I use the high of day as a stop, if we get a red candle to take out the lower half or the bottom of this inverse hammer, I'm willing to ride this into support, which for me, support would have been back into the middle of the range, which was the 20 SMA. So I took those 2 micro contracts and quickly rode them down. Now I didn't hold it all the way to the 20. I just started to get green, and I got out. Okay, so now that's 2 trades on the day and we've built up a cushion. So now what I was trying to tell and stress to a lot of people in evolution traders was, let's wait. Let's wait for the next legitimate setup. Let's wait for something else to happen, right? Let's wait for that 30-minute opening range. Let's wait for that initial balance. Let's wait for something, right? So you can see here, the 30-minute opening range low was here. We got very close to kind of confirming that at 7:25 in the morning. But ultimately, it was this candle here at 7:55 that completely broke down. And why I like this short trade was because it was also an active 20 SMA play. So notice how at 7:50 we closed underneath the 20 SMA. I knew that if this confirmed, it did have room to low of day, right? It had room down here. So maybe I can flirt with getting into this play a little bit early on the breakdown, since we've already shown that we couldn't take out high of day. And I can get in on this 20 SMA play and kind of ride it into low of day. And I did go a little bit more heavy on my size. Okay, I went more heavy on my size here. That way I can sell something into low of day and kind of use a break even as a stop. But if we do crack, there's going to be some potential down. And as soon as we cracked, again, I would love to say that I caught this thing and rode it all the way down to 466 or hell, even 444. I didn't, right? I didn't. But I caught a good piece of it. That gave me enough cushion to now I can kind of play with some different trade ideas, right? And that last trade idea, for any of you guys who kind of jumped in the room, that last trade idea that I had was, after this extended selling, I am looking at this inverse hammer candle with this long wick here, low of day. So what I'm looking for now is to try to just build a position here on 2 micros, build that position somewhere in this floor, using the low of day as a stop. Got very close to stopping me out, those of you guys who have been listening, because it did break that low of day. But I clearly emphasized, for me on my stop losses, especially when I'm playing something so small as a couple of micros, I'm going to need that slap in the face. You're absolutely dead wrong. And for me, that's going to be a close below that level, okay? Below that level. So again, yeah, does it suck being down here? Does it suck, being in drawdown? Absolutely. But if you size yourself properly, to where even if you're down $100, even if you're down $80, floating a couple of micros, your heart shouldn't explode, right? Like, you shouldn't have a panic attack. Because for most of you guys who are trading prop firms, you're allowed $2,000 to $2,500 worth of drawdown on a $50,000 account. $100 is not going to make or break your account. And I have a hard time believing that any one of you guys out there who are actually listening are going to lose 15 to 20 trades in a row. I just find it impossible. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but I think it's very, very hard to do if you're following a strategy or following some type of system where you're going to lose 15 to 20 trades in a row to blow that account up, right? So $100 in drawdown is nothing. We sit, we wait, we allow this thing to keep continuing to push. And again, I kind of tried to point this out. What am I looking for? I'm looking for it to push up into supply. And what's my level of supply? My level of supply is this declining 20-day moving average. And look at this previous 5-minute candle, guys. Take a look at it. It bounces right into that 20-day moving average. So I want to be out of my position before we get into those sellers. Because if any of you guys have caught the live streams from earlier this week, you guys know that I look at supply and demand as obviously as sellers and buyers. So I think about it like this. If I'm strutting along and I've got some things to sell, right? And I'm going from town to town and I've got some things to sell, right? I want to sell at the next town that has people in the marketplace who are looking to buy things from me, which is going to be my supply. It's going to be my AKA resistance. You know, it's going to be whatever terminology you want to call it. Some people call it supply, some people call it resistance, you know, some people call it whatever you want to call it, right? So I want to sell into those buyers, right? These are going to be buyers up here because this 20 SMA is above us. Now, if 20 SMA was below us, then they would be sellers, right? If we lose a 20 SMA and we proceed down, then we want to move down into the next area of support, AKA buyers, and sell into them. So you always want to be selling into supply. You never really want to be going long into supply, right? Like you don't want to be going long into this 20 SMA. Now, if we clean it up, if we clean up all these buyers at the 20 SMA and we close over it, great. I'm not going to jump right in. I'm going to allow more people to come and kind of prove to me that we've got more strength behind that. And that is waiting for my confirmation. So again, 20 SMA play breaks down the 20 SMA. I'm not just going to jump into this just because we broke the 20 SMA. No, I'm going to allow more people to come in and confirm the low, showing me that we've got more room down. Now, what's my next area of demand? Well, that was going to be this wick here and these 2 wicks here, which was also the 30-minute low and initial bounce low. So I'm going to make sure that I sell something into that. And if I decide to hold it past that, that's on you, right? But your true should have been getting in on that short through 19,538, and you should have been looking to sell somewhere around 520, 515. Okay, so even that is still almost 10, 15, 20 points that you could have made. And then if you feel good about yourself and you're feeling risky, hold it, see, do we break this level here? And if we do break this level, try to write it down a little bit, get out when you've got some green locked up there. Yeah, trading that first 5 to 15 minutes is brutal sometimes. Like you're gonna have fantastic trades in the first 5 to 15 minutes, but it's also gonna drive you insane. It's because the ranges are too big. I was even telling people this week in my room, I'm almost willing to just put on one micro contract. Like I don't want to take anything in that first 15 minutes, sometimes even the first 30 minutes. But again, I'm human. I want to be involved in the party, right? Just like everyone. I want to trade. I want to be involved in the party. I don't trade, I don't make money. If I don't make money, I can't pay my bills. That's what it is. So I need to be able to trade, but I got to have some structure too. I would definitely avoid the first 5 minutes, but if you find yourself and you can't help it, throw on one micro just to feel like you're a part of the party. You'll be able to manage your risk. You'll still be able to make some coin. And because of the ranges being so big, right? Because the ranges are so big, you'll still might be able to pop off a 40, 50, 60 point trade, right? You still might be able to make 75, 80, $100 on that first opening move. And then you can allow price action to kind of set up and you can see more structure, and you can start to mark out some zones, and then you can go from there. So so we're smack dab in the middle of this lunch hour here. We've got some price action that's trading at the lower half of this range. We've got a current low of day. We've got a double wick bottom test here at around 19,412. You know, I'm not a genius or anything, but obviously if we do break this double bottom, we do have room into yesterday's lows. That's sitting way down here at 19,335. So, you know, maybe that might be an opportunity. Again, if we do hold this floor, right, because we're seeing down here between 400 and 415 that there's buyers coming in, right? Like we bounced once, we bounced twice. So look at it like this. If these buyers get cleaned up, right? Like, so if these sellers can clean up these people that are down here, we're going to go lower, right? So if you're looking to take a trade, maybe you take your opportunity through the low of day continuation, right? We've had a little bit of a bounce. It's been getting rejected. If it does lose that, maybe there's some continuation down. If you're looking for some sort of cheap long, you know, this is a pullback, maybe where you want to get in this range somewhere in the 30s, right? If we can get down a little bit more, again, I'm not saying that it's going to get down there. You can maybe look for a cheap long. I would definitely not play anything more than a couple of micros there if you're going to give it that stab, but low of day definitely has to be your max pain. Again, if you're just looking for a scalp, you're looking for some type of setup, you've got to wait for something, right? So right now, who I'm speaking to is people who maybe you want to build into a position down here, right? Where you want to start a position down here and you want to see, do we bounce? You're going to be in at a great spot, right? You're going to have a hell of a spot, and you've got to clear out. You've got to clear out below these 2 wicks, okay? If you're looking for the short because you believe that the market's going to continue to go lower today, great. You want to see a little bit more of a bounce, maybe a failed attempt over this 20 SMA, hell, maybe even up to this IB low, right? And then you want to see us come down and lose that low of day. Then you want to take your opportunity to kind of go short there. I'm going to pull up the 30-minute time frame, kind of see what we're looking at here. So if we look at a 30-minute time frame, we've had some extended selling to the downside, but I want you guys to take notice to this previous fucking 30-minute candle, right? It's a little bit of a doji, it's a little bit of a misdirection, indecision candle, right? So clearly here, it looks like the market can bounce from here, and it's got space into 500s, right? 512s. But if we do have that continuation selling, it's got room down into 335. So what is that telling you? You don't have a clear direction. Like, I can't sit here, right? This is a problem that so many traders have, is you want an answer for every single minute of the day. Are we going lower? Are we going higher? When truthfully speaking, we can't predict the outcome at all. We just need to be involved on whatever side the market chooses to take, right? So what I'm looking at here is, sure, anything through 412 looks like that can have some continuation down. If you're willing to risk, right, meaning put on a trade, that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for the bounce, then your low of day has to be your max pain. It has to be your max pain. And again, to the person who just asked the question, am I expecting a breakout of the SMA? I'm not expecting anything. I'm waiting for something to happen, and then I'm reacting to whatever happens. So again, it doesn't matter what I want, you know, it doesn't matter what I expect. I don't expect anything, because I know that every time I expect something, I get slapped in the face, and that's in life regardless, right? I can't expect anything to happen to me, you know, and I'm not even talking about trading. What I have to do is do what I need to do to continue to go where I want to go, okay? Whether that's hard or not. So in trading, when you think about it, yeah, sometimes you're expecting things to happen, or sometimes it looks like something's going to happen and it doesn't work out. What are you going to do what's best for you? Are you going to just sit there in that trade and cry about it? Or are you going to get out of it and look for the next trade, right? Switch the mindset from what's the market going to do? Do you expect this to happen? I mean, if I knew, or every time I expected something to happen in the market, I'll be honest with you guys. You guys would not hear me on YouTube. I would be somewhere off with $100 million because I knew what the hell was going to happen, right? So again, trading is a very lucrative business because you can make a lot of money very, very quickly. And especially now with these prop firms, you can utilize these in ways to really get you ahead and start investing money into. And again, everyone wants to know, what's the best prop firm? What's the best prop firm? I don't care what the best prop firm is. Whatever prop firm works for you and that pays is best, but take some of those payouts and put it into a personal account. You need to be actively growing a personal account. We're back down here again for the third time testing this low of day. So again, you know, if we get a sweep of low of day, what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? Are you looking for that continuation move all the way down here somewhere into the 300s? Okay. Or are you looking for a scalp? If you're looking for a scalp, what's your price target? Is it 5 points? Is it 10 points? Is it 15 points? Do you know that, right? Do you know? Or are you just saying, well, we broke low of day, I've got room, I don't know what the hell I'm looking for? If that's what you're doing, stand up right now, walk away from the computer screen, come back in 15 minutes, and then have a plan, right? So for me, something like this, if I want to take this low of day breakdown, I'm going to have a plan, right? I might look for 10 points. I might look for 15 points. What's the plan? We're going to get in here. We're going to get in here, and I'm going to see if I can get 10 points. Okay? I'm going to see if I can get 10 points. So I'd be looking for something close to 40 bucks on this trade, if I can get it. All right, we're going to see if we can get 40 bucks. 40 bucks would be 10 points. I'm playing 2 micros. And a lot of times when you have this floor like this, but you're in the middle of lunchtime, sometimes they can wick you in and then it just sets a big old trap to like explode back up to the upside, right? So what's my stop? I need to have a hard dollar amount stop. I'll risk $100 on this trade. Okay. So I'm looking for 40, looking for 40. I'm at 35. There's my 40. There's my 40. So took 10 points on that move very, very quickly. 10 points on that move. Again, but you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan. My plan was scalp that low of day break. Whether that thing wants to run, right? Let's go back to my chart. Whether that thing wants to run another 50 points, not my business. Doesn't even concern me, right? I wanted to scalp that low of day break. I'm playing 2 micros. Am I gonna, and look at it go. Look at it go. Am I going to, you know, go out there and buy a Lamborghini with 40 bucks? Of course not. But did I have a plan? Yeah, I did. Got this level marked out. We tested it once, we tested it twice. If we broke it, I want to be in that trade. I'm going to throw on some small size. I'm going to look for 10 points on the quick scalp. quick $40 move. We'll take it. I was going to risk 100. Done. Right? Done. But again, let me run through a scenario. Let's say someone got in this trade and you're in the trade now. You're still green. You're still positive. But you didn't have the plan of knowing where exactly do you want to sell? How many points are you actually looking for, right? The range, the ATR is 34 points, right? Are you looking for a full 30 points? Are you looking for 15 points? You would have got the 15, right? What are you looking for? I'll see a lot of traders. What tends to happen is they'll get in, they'll be in some profit here, and then they'll get one big spike up that puts them at break even. And in fact, it will put them into drawdown, and now they freeze like a deer in headlights, exactly like what it's doing right now. They start freezing, and it's like, shit. Do I continue to hold? Should I get out? Maybe I should sell this position and go long. They start all these ideas, and that only happens, right? That only happens because you never had a plan going into the trade. And to be a good trader, or even just a consistent trader, I'm not even saying a good trader. I don't like, I'm not striving to be like the best trader. I don't care. There's millions of traders who are better than me. Millions, thousands, right? I don't care. I want to be consistent in what the hell I do, right? Because I know that if I'm consistent in what the hell that I'm doing, I'm going to make money. I just need to let the numbers play out. I need to let the trades roll on. And I'm not going to sit here and tell myself, well, this move could still be going lower. Should I get back in? Should I bounce it? No, I'm going to go look for the next trade. What's the next trade? I need something else to happen that aligns with the way that I trade. Okay, with the way that I trade. Guys, if you're just jumping on the stream, make sure to hit the like button, please. It definitely helps feed this out to more people. It's free to do that, right? Also, how many of you guys are out there making money today? So I've seen a couple of comments in the chat. Some people, didn't have such a good day. Other people, I don't really know. But, we're all here sitting at the round table. Let's shoot the shit a little bit. How many of us are green? How many of us are red? Just drop it in chat. Again, what are you looking for right now in the markets? Are you looking for continuation down to the downside? Are you looking for a potential bounce? What are we doing here? Let's get an open floor discussion. That's another thing too, guys. There's a lot of really good streamers out there. When you guys jump in these rooms, when you guys jump on these live streams, start throwing your ideas around, right? I'm also going to give you guys a piece of advice too. Look at what people are saying, but analyze it in your own way. Does it make sense to you or does it not? If it doesn't make sense to you, you don't just blindly follow what other people are doing. But it's also good to see what other people are doing, right? You want to see like what do people think, because it definitely helps play into how you're reading the markets. And some days, myself included, we read the market like shit, right? We just have too much bias. We have too much of the market can't be doing this today. Why is it doing this? You know what's crazy to me sometimes is that I'll see traders that will be upset that the market's going higher or be upset that the market's going lower. And they'll be like, how can the market be doing this? Like, why is it doing this? You know what that tells me? Is that you were expecting the market to do something else, but your pride and ego it's too big. It's too large, my friend, because you're not even allowing that personal bias to drop to just make some money on whatever the hell the market is doing, right? It is doing. So even for you, Melissa, yesterday you were green 1400, today you're red 600. No reason to even feel bad about that at all. The way I look at that, you're up $600-700 on the week. And I don't know what you did prior to these last 2 days, but you're still up positive $600, $700 from yesterday. So, and that's another thing about me, the way that I trade. Yeah, some days do we not see the market clearly? Some days do we lose? Of course. But I always manage against my P&L, right? So if I'm up $1,000 on the week and I just have a $500 red day today, am I a shitty trader? No, I'm still up $500 on the week. This play is still continuing to break down. You see how that worked, guys? Do we see how that worked? How it tested once, it tested twice. Maybe there was an opportunity for a bounce. It did give us a little bit of a bounce into supply. And then now on that third attempt, once we broke down, right? below 412s. It's gone all the way down to 370. So a 40-point decline. 40-point decline. Even if you were looking for 15 points, you got hit. Okay, here's a perfect point, because a lot of you guys don't really know how to use stop losses or how to set up take profits. I used to teach this a lot. I've gotten away from it, but it's still really good. And the only reason why I've gotten away from it is because I trade bigger size. But let's say you're a trader who trades 1 or 2 micros. Okay, I'm talking to all you micro traders. Guys, the ATR, right? Average true range of the 5-minute candle, 34 points. That's the range. You can give yourself 1 ATR as a stop, and you can target 1 ATR as a take profit. The most simplest form of risk management you can do. Basically, risking 1 to make 1. In this particular case, the low of day was sitting at 19,412. If we were looking, right? If we were looking at a 1 ATR take profit, so 19,412 minus, what's the ATR? 34 points minus 34. We were looking for a price target of 19,378. You would have got it here on this current 5-minute candle. Or even on this one. This came down to 19,379. So risk 1 to make 1. Makes sense? 34 points on 1 micro is around $70, $69. If you were playing 2, you just made an easy 120 bucks. Easy $120. Making $120 never felt so good, right? I mean, we're talking about making $120 in 5-6 minutes, 7 minutes max. I don't know what the minimum wage is where you live, but even if it was $20 an hour, right? That's at least 5 hours worth of work. And you just did it in 5-6 minutes. So when you really put things into perspective like that, guys, you could have an opportunity of a big bottom. This is something we look for here in Evolution Traders. You know, you got this extended move down. You got a green candle here, hammer candle. You can use the new low of day. I can actually move this. You can use the low of day as a stop. Try a cheap long. Again, how cheap is it? It's about 30 points cheap. It's about 30 points cheap. So take that into mind. You do try an attempt at a long position here. If we take out this candle, we have to take out the previous 5-minute candle high. If we take that out, you can try an opportunity at a cheap long there, 5-point scalp, 10-point scalp, 15-point scalp max. Use the low of day as a stop, just a quick little hitter there if it confirms. If it loses the low of day, what do you got to do? You got to get out. Just be mindful though. Be mindful that yesterday's low is only like 45 points away. So I would actually like to see this type of setup more so down towards low of day, but beggars can't be choosers. Do I think 500 is enough to start out with, or will you build up more? Are you talking about for a personal account? Talking about trading futures on a personal account? I believe more is always better. Again, if you think you need 500, you need 5,000. If you've got 5,000, you need 50. So again, you always need more money to trade. Can you start trading with 500? Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. But how you can trade, you've got to have a business plan built up around that. It's no more than 1 micro. Okay. And truthfully speaking, you're looking for 2 or 3 trades a day, $20, $25 wins, $40, $60 days. Stop trading. Move on to the next day. 1 or 2 trades, make 50, 60 bucks, lose 50, 60 bucks. That's it. Until you build that balance from 500 to 1,000. And then if you do get it up to 1,000, maybe you can go to 2 micros and look for, like this last trade I took, 2 micros, $40 a trade. Look for 1 or 2 winning trades a day. Either make 40, make 80, stop, or lose 40, lose 80, stop. And that needs to remain the plan until you get up to 2,000. And then 3. And it continues, right? It's a very slow road when you start with a small account. Is it possible? Yes. But your discipline and your risk management needs to be sky high through the roof. I'm just telling you that. It needs to be sky high. All right. What do you think, guys? You think I should try this attempt at a bounce here using low of day as a stop? What are we thinking here? Got to get over like 403. Get over 402, 403, use low of day as a stop. And exactly, we honestly as traders, because we can see big dollar amounts fly across our screens relatively quickly, we lose face of reality. You know, making $100, making $120, hell, in even an hour is, it's like a full working day for some, you know. There's a four. I'm in, guys. I'm going to look for 10 points again here, or low of day as a stop. Or low of day as the stop. You've got 3 50K bull knocks funded. I haven't paid the 450 to activate. I'm afraid of blowing up. I just can't log red. I get greedy every day. I'm up 1,200. But see, the thing, Tony, the thing with that is that every day you're up 1,200 and in 2 trades lose 3K. There's gotta be some type of something built into our plan that if we're up 1,200, and I was making a good point yesterday on stream, that if we're up 1,200, my future trade that I take after that, I'm not losing no more than $600. That way I will still end with the $600 green day. And I got to do whatever it is humanly possible, whether that's having a trade buddy, whether that's having someone in your house, that's someone at your job, a friend, someone to say, get the hell off the screens. Whether that's you after you're up $1,200 and you take a $400 loss, is physically walking over and unplugging your whole PC from the wall. You know, like you got to do something that shifts the mentality of, I'm up 1,200, I'm reaching for more. Why are you reaching for more? Like, you know what I'm saying? A $1,200 day, there's only 22 trading days in a month. If you made $1,200 every single day, do you realize that one account that you're trading is going to be up 25, 30,000? Do you know how hard that is to do on $2,000 worth of drawdown, $3,000 worth of drawdown? Do you know how hard that is to do? What's the percentage? What's the like, how much percentage in the green are you if you were to make $20,000 a month? Because that's realistically what you're trying to do. You're realistically trying to make $20,000 a month. How about we start off trying to make $2,000 a month, and then we scale? We can scale by adding more accounts. So what you're doing in one day, in a couple of trades, you should realistically flip your mindset that if you do have a $1,200 day, you should definitely size down for the rest of the week and just try to keep it around that $1,200. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I've had people in the past before that have come into my room completely fresh and they've had some good days. And I say, what do you realistically expect to make today? And they say, well, I'm trying to make $700 or $800 a day. How about we start off trying to make $100 a day until we get a payout, you know? That's what I think. But we've got to have something that tells us up 1,200, we've got to walk away. Up 500, 600, we've got to walk away. You know, like we've got to walk away. Trade stalling out a little bit here. Might be just a little bit of a 3-bar dead cat bounce before a new low. Again, I still really feel that this yesterday's low of day needs to get tagged 19,335. I might be getting out of this trade here shortly. And again, I'm not really putting too much weight onto this trade at all. I'm just trying to scrape a little cash. Scrape a little cash or lose a little cash. It is what it is. Yeah, the arrows on my chart are on the Thinkorswim platform. So I trade options. Yeah, you got to set a limit and below I trail. I don't have drawdown. That's all emotions. So that's just it's just all emotions. It's all emotions. I don't think any of that loss has anything to do with your strategy. I don't think it has to do with you as a trader not being a good trader. None of that. It's all emotions. It's a greed factor. There's no one out there who's going to help you other than you. When you get tired of slamming your head into that wall, is going to be the moment that you change. So you've got to hit rock bottom. When are you going to decide that you're hitting rock bottom? Because again, am I saying that you're a horrible trader? Absolutely not. Any trader who's able to take out $1,200 from the market in a day and a couple of trades is a great trader. But you are at rock bottom emotionally to where you need to make that change for the better of you, right? There's no race, Tony. There's no race here. No one is like, I'll tell you this, Tony, you can make $5,000 today. I can guarantee you no one's going to give a shit. You know, the only person who's going to care about that is you. The only person who's going to care about that is you. And what is that going to lead you to do? It's like an addict, right? It's going to lead you to want to do it again. Okay, let's go back to my trade here. Looks like we're moving up. There's another 40 bucks there, guys. There's another 40 bucks. That's another 10-point trade off the bottom there. That's another 10-point trade off the bottom. If anyone took that with me, you know, you can hold it for a little bit longer, move your stop loss to break even or do whatever, but that's another 10-point trade there. So again, since coming on this stream, I've taken a couple of little bounces, or you know, whatever we call them, bigs bottoms over at Evolution Traders. But those are the setups we're looking for. Extended moves to the downside, either inverse or hammer candles or doji candles. We're looking for a following candle to take it out, use a low if they has a stop, and we just try to take that little bounce there. That's it. That's a quick 20 points. Again, on 2 micros. God forbid you guys were trading 5 micros, guys. That's a $200 win. That's a $200 win. Or not $200. What's the math on that? If you were trading 5 micros, that's a $100 win. Excuse me. So a $100 win on the first one, $100 win on this one. If anyone just took those last 2 at 5 micros, I mean, you guys are up $200. You have $200. Currently, I'm up $1,400 and 18.58 cents. This account is done for the day. You know, I'm just sitting around trying to teach a little bit. We got bigs in the room with the SPY calls off yesterday's low. So on the NQ, we were pretty close to yesterday's low. But we got a guy in our room trading some options. So he just took some SPY calls off of yesterday's low for that little bit of a bigs bounce. And I don't know if you guys caught it, but what's his name? His name is Biggs. That's why we call it the Biggs bottom and Biggs top. This guy's notorious for spotting those things out. So he made a quick 200 on some made a quick 200 on his options. That guy's a rock star. He was the first, I think he was the first guy that came into my room before it was even like a educational room. It was just me documenting and journaling 4 years ago. He just came in there and we just started shooting the shit. Good dude. So that little bounce popped right into this supply yet again, guys, right there into that 20 SMA. Guys, did anyone take that? I'm curious. We gotta have some execution here. You know, if we're not taking it, it's like, why? Right? That's my question. Why? Well, because the market can go lower. Sure, the market can go lower. The market can also go higher too. Well, I don't want to lose. What? If you don't want to lose, you're in the wrong business. Because this business is all about losing. It's all about losing. How we doing? How we doing? Anyone catch any coin on that? Still continuing to push. Kind of just slowly putting in these lower highs, right? High, lower high, lower high, lower high. That's another thing too. When I'm looking at those bounces like that, I'm not looking for some type of push all the way up to the upside. It would be nice, but I realize I'm going against a trend, right? Like I'm going against trend. So I don't want to get cute, you know. I don't want to get too cute. You know, I'm not that good. I'm not that good to say, hey guys, that's the low of day. Just get in and hold it all the way up to the top. And shit, that'd be nice. If I look back at this at the close and this was the absolute low of fucking day here, you know, talk about had the perfect entry, right? I mean, this bounce is already up 50 points, 60 points. Insane. Insane. What are you going to do, though? You know, that's trading. What are you going to do? We're also coming out of lunch here 5 minutes after this candle closes. We've got upper supply here closer to 480, 490. If market really wants to stretch. 485 is this last little swing high here. Right there. Got 2 minutes here. It's 2 minutes. Okay. Went up 30 minutes of green too as well. It's also something to keep in mind. The last 30 minutes have all been green candle closes. Let's see what the 30-minute chart looks like. So 30-minute chart looks bullish, right? 30-minute chart looks bullish. If we get this next 30-minute chart to kind of, or candle to confirm the highs, we've got room into those 80s, 85s. Over 85s, I could see a stretch into 500. So again, a little bit of bullish price action here. A little bit of bullish price action there. What I'd like to see is just a slight pullback, just to give me a small pullback and then confirm. But again, your active 20 play would be here, somewhere right there. Just understand, what are you looking for as far as a target, you know? I'd like to see a pullback first, but again, that's what I'd like to see. Little pullback here. Maybe even to the middle of the range. Maybe even a 10-point pullback. I'd like to see like a 10-point pullback, stop, and then explode through. That would be perfect. Again, just always assess your risk. The previous 5-minute candle range is 30 points. So if you're going to truly let this play out, you got to give it at least a 30-point risk. There's the pop. There's the pop, guys. There's the pop. Pop through that. 19,648. It's up over 5 points there. See what we got going here, guys. See what we got going here. We're playing the funded account here with Apex up 125, 145, 165, 180, $200. We're going to lock that in there, guys. We're going to lock that in there. on that Apex PA account, right? So that PA account balance is now 51,832. Total gross profit on the Apex PA is $855 on the day. And truthfully speaking, I took a couple losses today. So 6 total trades on the day. 4 of those trades were winners. 2 of those trades were losers. Only operated at a 66% win rate today. But we were able to log in a gross P&L of 855. So 855, that was the last 20 play there. Did anyone snag that 20 play? I mean, those of you guys who watch this and they look at that pop, guys. Look at that pop. Fucking sellers on their knees right now. 19,512. Is that initial balance low? Is that initial balance low? In that 30-minute opening range low, I could see the rejection coming in there. That's why I just wanted to get in, get green, get the hell out. For one thing, we're already green on the top step. We're not going to fuck that up anymore, right? We're already green. We're already green on the damn Apex performance account. So we don't want to screw that up. I just want to get in and get out. But for a lot of you guys who've been watching the videos, maybe you guys have even seen some of my videos on YouTube before, I'm going over these 20 plays. I've gotten comments over the last few months, oh, well, it's easy to go back in hindsight and look at the chart, all this nonsense, guys. Closes over the 20 SMA. I was talking it through. We want to see a little bit of a pullback here, a little bit of a pullback, and then explode through that 20 SMA play, right? The levels are on the chart. The levels are on the chart. 19,468, somewhere above that should have been the entry to get in on that. But have a plan. Are we looking for 5 points? Are we looking for 10 points? What are we looking for, right? Again, when I'm trading minis, I'm looking for 5 to 10 points max. Get in on the damn trade. If it's up 5 points, start thinking about selling. If it goes up 10, starts thinking about selling. Now, again, could this explode? Could it go up 40, 50, 60 points? Sure. But when I'm trading minis, I just can't. I can't hold on to it. Because the worst thing that I can do is see a $200, $300 profit go down $200, $300, $400. It'll piss me off. It'll throw me off my game. If I'm looking for more points on something like that, I'm going to trade in micros. So start differentiating yourself between, are you a scalper or are you looking for the bigger move? If you're looking for the bigger move, you better be trading micros. Okay? Especially if you're on some type of $50,000 account, because you just don't have the damn drawdown to do it. And that's the thing. We want trades to work fast. Like my average trades, if I go through 100 of my trades and I look at the data, my average hold time 2 to 3 minutes. And it's closer to 2 minutes. Why is that? Because if the damn play is going to work, it normally works in either A, I just get filled because I got a hard take profit, or I'm manually closing out because it just exploded like this last play here and we just took the 200 and that's it. Under 2 minutes. Now, if I'm in a trade and I'm chopping around, I'm a little green, I'm a little red, it's flat, I'm a little red, it's flat, and it's been 5 minutes, it's been 10 minutes, God forbid it's been 15 minutes. What do you think I'm thinking? This fucking trade is not going to work. Why? Because if 70% of the trades that work for me are happening in under 2 minutes, and I'm in a trade for 10 minutes, 12 minutes, that's already going against my percentages. My percentages tell me that it's under 2 minutes that it's going to fill for 5 to 10 points. And if I can't get 5 to 10 points in under 2 minutes, the longer I'm holding that trade, the higher the probability of it not working out is going to be. And look at, if you were looking for more, I don't know what if, you know, I don't know, because someone could have been looking for 50 points. But if you're looking for more, it just came back down, you know, put you in drawdown, now you're flat, right? When truthfully speaking, you could have got in on this play at 19,468 and you could have, you know, rode this to 500 basically. Almost 40 points. Again, I'm sorry guys, but like if you're looking for like more than 30, 40 points on a trade, You got a lot more, you know what, than I do. I wish I could be like those people who hold 40, 50, 60 point winners. I just can't do it. It's just not me. And I've understood that a long time ago, you know. Like when I play options, Nvidia or Tesla or something, you know, I'll take 10 contracts. I'm looking for like 80 cents, a dollar, $1.25, $1.50. I'm for sure out. And then I'll look back and it's up $3, $4, $5, right? So that's fine with me. You know, it sucks, but it's fine with me because I know that I can come into the market and take that dollar out of Tesla on a good setup more times than I can take $4 out of Tesla. Do I feel as if your trading is reaching its pinnacle when you come to see these conclusions? I mean, yeah, like once you start understanding, when you look back from when you would get ripped by the market to now. Yeah, so like I was telling the other fellow that was in there, I was telling someone, um, you know, who was the person who said that they were up 1200 and they might lose it all or something. There comes a point in time in your trading, like it's like this. A lot of times traders think that when you become profitable, meaning like you're actually paying the old Uncle Sam for money, for the money that you've made, and you're actually profitable, that it's easy, or you know, you don't take losses or you don't feel anything, right? Trust me, this is going into my 10th, and I've been at this 10 and a half years. I still feel something on every trade. I still feel emotion on every trade. Um, the only thing that's changed is that I've realized what works for me and I stick to what works for me. So again, like as I said, if I know that around 70% of the time, you know, let's call it 6 to 7 trades out of 10, that normally they work between 1 and 2.5 minutes, then if I'm in a trade and it's been 10 minutes, like I said, and it's not working, I'm okay with closing it out sometimes for a loss, even if it does come back to get me and it would have worked out, because I know that 6 to 7 trades are going to work in this specific time zone. I also know that off the bell, I've had my biggest trades, but I've also had my biggest losing trades. So I tend to take and wait for the second trade of the day that sets up versus taking the first one. I tend to do that more than not. So like, yeah, you start to pick up on things because you actually get tired of just slamming your head into the wall. And it's like, yeah, it's like I don't really look at it as like I'm kind of like outsmarting the market. I just know like what works for, like what works more than it doesn't for me. And the only way you kind of get that is through repetition, right? So it's like I tell traders, what you need to do is take more trades, right? Like you need to take more trades. And why is that? Because you need to know what it feels like to lose. You need to know what it feels like to win time and time and time and time again, so you get comfortable with those feelings to where you know what to expect, right? So like if you always are kind of knowing what to expect, like I expect honestly to lose every trade. I truthfully do. And like having that idea of, if I do lose, how much am I willing to lose, and actually sticking to that. You know, not just like getting into a trade expecting or hoping that it wins, and then when it's not working, I'm kind of like all over the place scrambling, you know. And again, I think the biggest thing for managing, you know, when you do happen to hit a couple of winning trades early in the day, is I will always manage any future trades against a current green P&L. So example, if I'm up 500, there's no shot in hell I'm risking more than $250, which is half. I'm not risking no more than that on any future trade. And if I do decide to risk the full 250 on one particular trade, given the stop loss or the position size that I'm playing, and I do lose 250, guess what? I take my happy ass and I get up and I go do something else. Or I'll flip to another account that doesn't have that loss on it on its back, you know? Which is why I recommend you guys need multiple accounts. If you're out there trying to sit there and do this with one account or two accounts, it's hard to do. It's hard to do. You need more money, right? Goes back to when someone earlier asked, is $500 enough to put into a personal account and start trading? It is, but you're going to quickly realize that you would be better off with 5,000 in there if you're not ready emotionally to be able to walk away when you're up $40 on the day, right? With a $500 account, or walk away with a $50 loss on a $500 account day. If you're not ready to do that, you're not ready to trade a personal account with that size. You need to put more money in there. But if you're willing to work it and you're willing to follow a plan, it's possible, yes. So yeah, I mean, you just learn things. And again, like I'd be a fool to sit here and tell anyone that I haven't gone on tilt, or I still don't get upset. So when do you, like, for me, I mean, yeah, and like I'll stop. Like I already start heavily considering stopping when I'm up 300. Like if I catch a couple trades early, I'm like already on the mode of I'm done trading on the day. Yeah, I don't really set a number. I don't really set a hard dollar amount. Like for me, it's not like if I make 500, I'm done. If I make 300, I'm done. I don't have those numbers. It's a feel. It's definitely not points. Like I'm not going to say if I can scrape 40 points from the market today, I'm done. It's a feel. So like I've taken 3 trades since I've been on this stream in the last hour with you folks. 2 of those trades were on Top Step, and they were trading micros. I was already up $1,000, so I'm not going to even give myself a chance to lose any of that. I'll lose $150, but that's it. And if the next trade I take wins, well, guess what? I'll still consider taking another trade, but I'm not going to increase my size or anything. My size will be the same. Those 2 trades I took were $40 win, $40 win. It's nothing, but it added an extra $80 to the bottom line. I really liked this 20 SMA setup. This is why I took it on the funded account with Apex that I have, because one, we put in a new low and we bounced, and 2, it reclaimed the 20-day moving average on a 5-minute time frame, going all the way back to 750 when we lost it. So this is the first time we reclaimed it. So I felt pretty good about it. I went ahead and threw on a little bit of size on that, and I got in. Even though that account was green, I wasn't willing to risk no more than half of it. So it was green 660. I was not going to lose more than $200-300 on it. Okay. And if I did go down $200-300 on it, I would have just exited. You guys would have heard me vent for about 5 minutes, and then that would have been it. I would have closed that platform down and not traded anymore. Now that I have inched it a couple $100 more, and we are getting later in the day, I'm done. I'm done. I'm telling all you guys right now, I'm done. That's it. 5-minute time frame. That's another thing too. Sometimes we say we're done, and then you see another setup and you can't resist taking it, and you take it. What I have gotten better at over the years is when I say I'm done, I'm done. Like no means no, right? Like no, I'm done. Because I know this, right, guys? Like this is what I think of. Can I make a few hundred more extra dollars? Yes. But am I gonna make thousands of dollars today? No. You know how I know that I'm not going to go from being up 800 to up 8,000 or up 5,000 or up 2,000? You know how I know that? I want anyone to take a guess, right? And this is just a wild guess. I'm up 800 on a funded account. I will never, even if I take 2 or 3 or 4 more trades, I'm not even going to make $2,000, $3,000. Does anyone know why? I just love to hear an answer. Like just anything, just it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. I just love to hear a thought process of why do you think that I'm not even going to make 2,000 or 3,000 or $4,000 today? over trade reasons, consistency, downsizing. All of those reasons are, all of those things are kind of playing into it. But it's like, here's just my simple answer. Because guys, I'm only looking for like 5 to 10 points on my setups, right? So even if I trade a mini contract, I'm going to make what, another $100? If I trade 2 minis, I'm going to make $200, maybe 300 if I'm lucky, if it moves really fast. If I'm up 800, I might make 1,000. But guess what? If I'm wrong, what if I'm wrong? What if it goes down 20 points? What if I get in and it goes up 3 points and then comes down? Right? So I could take an $800 day down to a 400, and then what kind of emotion is that going to trigger for me? You know, it might trigger me. I don't know because I'm not in that situation, but it might trigger me to want to put on another trade. And that's how you can go from being up to down very quickly, right? Because of what? You have this fictitious idea in your head that maybe your next trade is going to, you know, mysteriously take you from $800 in my situation to 5,000. It's impossible. It's impossible, because what that would entail me to do is to go against my strategy, to go against my profit targets. It would cause me to hold trades longer than what I do. I told you guys 10 minutes ago, my average trade time is 2 minutes. So how the heck, unless this candle goes up 100 points in a minute, which again, off the open, I've seen it, but realistically, what are the odds that it's going to go up 100 points? And even if it does go up 100 points on one mini contract in a minute, I'm not going to make $10,000 off that, right? So when you really start breaking it down into realistic, you know, like putting it into a realistic perspective, like how much money do you think you're going to make based off your strategy? You know, how much money do you think you're actually going to make off your risk management? My risk management would tell me that if I want to make this $800 day and I want to turn this into a $5,000 day, that I'm going to need to take at least 20, 30 more trades at $200 to $300 a pop. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. I've only taken 6 trades all day. There's no chance in hell I'm going to be able to get 25 more setups today and be right. That's the thing. Be right on all 20 of them, on all 30 of them. So again, if I was a trader who sat here and said, I'm trying to call the low, like, right, if I was really trying to get in on a couple of minis down here and hold it, then yeah, you know, I'm up 70 points. But even if I took 2 minis, someone do the math. If I'm up 2 minis and the most I was up was 80 points, how much would that be on 2 minis from my original entry on that little scalp? 80 points on 2 minis. Right? 20 times, that's 1,600. So $1,600 is what one could have captured if you got in down here on a mini and you actually held it the whole way. The whole way. If that's how you trade, then the most you could have made was 1,600 on a mini contract. Right? So where's the idea come from where you're gonna make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 today? Where's that idea coming from? You would have had to put on 5 mini contracts and had the stones to hold it, and not sell here when you're up 1,000, to not sell here when you're up a couple thousand, to not sell here, you know. Now it's coming back, so you would have given back some profits. Like, where was the price target, you know? Like, once I really started to analyze things like that, I'm like, yeah, sure, it'd be nice to make $1,000, $2,000 every day, but how many trades is that actually going to take me? Like, you know, For me to make $1,000 in a day, it's going to take me at least 5 trades, at least 5 or 6 winning trades, mind you. And I have to be right on all 6 of them. Do you know how hard it is to win 1 trade, let alone 3 or 4 or 5? Like today, I took 6 on that PA account. I only won 3 and I lost 2. Or what was it? What is the number here? I took, yeah, 6 trades total, 4 winning trades, and I lost 2 of them. Right? So what the hell? Like, you know, like, I'm not Superman. And look at this. Average winning trade time, 1 minute and 3 seconds, right? And this is, what did I say? Longest trade time, 2 minutes. Longest trade time, 2 minutes. So I already know between 1 and 2 minutes on my setups, it should work or fail. It should work or fail. Longest losing trade time was 1 minute and 22 seconds. Didn't feel it, wasn't working. Biggest losing trade today was $312. So that tells me I got into a trade. I don't even know which trade it was, but I got into a trade and it went against me like 15 points relatively quickly. I got the hell out. Like, even if I pull up my numbers from this month, on this one particular account, I only activated this. Actually, I could probably just go back. This is a relatively new EA account. If I do 15th, the last 2 weeks, if I did the last 2 weeks of trade on this account, it's up $1,800, $1,875. I've taken 12 trades in 2 weeks. 10 winning trades, 2 losing trades. 80. Oh, you guys aren't even looking at it. So look at these numbers, guys. Look at these numbers, right? It's a PA account here. It's not an evaluation or nothing. Current balance is 51.83, so it's not even eligible for a payout yet, right? But I'm not shooting for a payout on this one on the next pay period between the 1st and the 5th. I'm shooting for the 15th, right? Because I've got some top step accounts that I'm really trying to get these balances up on. I want to build a nice cushion over there. Got a little bit of a more of a bias right now towards top step. I just like them a little bit better. But anyways, $1,800 here, 12 trades total, 10 winning trades, 2 losing trades. Look at the numbers. Average winning trade time, 2 minutes, guys. The longest trade time where I won a trade was 6 minutes. Look at this, though. Average losing trade time, 1 minute. Longest losing trade time, 1 minute, 22 seconds. How many contracts are you trading, Tony? You know, I'm a steady Eddie type of dude. So I'm not really worried about trying to get a payout on this in, next week. I'll go 2 more weeks. Because guess what? If I go 2 more weeks, right, get some more days logged in here, get the cushion up a little bit, get over the threshold, if I could just duplicate this, right, I'll be at close to $4,000. That means when I do take a $2,000 payout from this one particular account, I'll still have close to $2,000 worth of drawdown on that account. We just do the whole thing over again. And then we go to the next account and we do that. Again, like I've said, if you guys have been listening, I'm not claiming, okay? I've never claimed, because I'm not even like a full-time futures trader. Like, I still think that, I don't know, 70% of my time, 60% of my time is spent on the option side of things. But I'm not these guys who's out here trying to take these $20,000 and $40,000 payouts from Apex. What is it nice? Absolutely. Like, are those guys crushing it? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm just a regular guy right? Who takes out honestly like $6,000-7,000 a month. Like that's no bullshit. Like I'm not sitting here saying that I make hundreds of thousands of dollars trading these prop firms. $6,000-7,000 a month. That's it. And that's plenty, right? I stack that on whatever I do for the month trading stocks, and that's a decent month. Like that's a decent month. And that's all you realistically need. And realistically, guys, that's to be completely honest with you, that's 3 accounts that you're aiming to take $2,000 out of once a month. And you're talking about potentially $72,000 extra to your bottom line at the end of the year. $72,000 is a hell of a lot more than some people make all year working 40 hours, 50 hours a week. And this business is easily scalable. The more accounts you add, the more money is going to trickle in. And it's not because I'm trying to make $1,000 a day. I'm trying to make $3,000 a month. And if I don't make $3,000 a month, then I'm trying to make $3,000 at least in 2 months. But right now I currently have 7 funded accounts across the board between the 2 companies. So just do the math. If I get to, it might not be this month, maybe it's next month. But when I get to, when those 7 accounts can all withdraw $2,000, that's a $14,000 month. And even if you took out $14,000 every 2 months, what's 14,000 times 6? That's $84,000 a year. $84,000 a year working 6 to 7 accounts where you're not even, you know how many times people tell me, I got my first funded account, I'm trying to get Apex payout in 10 days. Why? Why? How about you say, I got my first Apex account, if I can take a payout by next month? Give yourself some time. And if you want to make more money, just get more accounts. And even if you were on an operating system where you got 5 accounts and you're looking to get a payout once every 60 days, which is 2 months, that's $10,000. That's $5,000 average a month. You're still looking at over $60,000 a year. You combine that with, you know, a 9 to 5, you combine that with a personal account where you take out some more cash over there, you combine that with trading stocks, you combine that with your side hustle that you do with, you know, your part-time job, whatever, right? Your retirement fund, whatever. That's what it's all about. So many traders are trying to get out here. They're trying to make $250,000, $500,000, $1 million a year. The fuck? Show me that you can take a $2,000 payout in 2 months. Can you do that? Put things into perspective, guys. Put things into perspective. We can easily scale our business. There's no rush to get there. What are we rushing for? Because, truthfully speaking, on a lot of the prop firms, they kind of cap you on what you can make anyways, right? Apex, you can make 2,000 on a 50K account. You got to wait. It's not like you can have a killer week and make 20,000 on Apex and take out the entire 20,000. You're only going to be able to take out 2,000. So unless you need the $2,000 to pay rent this month, which I can show you a better way to make $2,000 in a month than this trading crap, you know, go get a regular fucking job and just grind your ass off for a month and you're going to make more than $2,000, right? That's going to be a guaranteed $2,000. Because this trading stuff is hard. It's very, very hard. It takes a long time. Got to really learn yourself. Right now, we're kind of holding this 20 SMA, guys. We're still flirting with that. We're still flirting down here. You know, I don't think there's any, you know, real potential upside until this market gets over 500. Could still fail this bounce and put in a low. Again, that ultimate low price target was this 19,335. That's yesterday's lows. So if this does fail, like let's say it sweeps and then it starts to fail, closes below the 20 SMA, you could see that push back down. If it continues higher here, what you want to see is us to get back into that initial balance. You want to see us get back into this black box, this range here. And you gotta take it slow, because you know, one bad day can erase a week's worth of work, right? Like let me paint a picture for you. So if I look at this week on this funded account, it's up $1,500, right? $1,500. Um, what's our max drawdown, right? $2,000, $2,500. Wouldn't one be able to say that you can go on tilt and lose 2,000, lose $2,500 in one day, right? Wouldn't that be fair to say that can happen? So one day I can unravel a week's worth of trading in one day. Yeah, and you can do it in one trade, right? You can do it in one trade. Um, so like when you really think about that what took me all week to make, I can give back in one trade or in one day. That scares the shit out of me, right? So what is that going to force me to do? It's going to force me to act correctly, you know, act appropriate, right? That's what it's going to do. It's going to force me to keep my feet on the ground and stay focused. You know, this is a long game. It's a long game. Too many of you guys are trying to make too much money too quickly. This is a long game. This is a game of day trading and scalping where you can make a lot of money every single day, but it's not about how much money you made on this trade or today. It's about, can you do that over a long period of time? You got to be in the game to play the game. And if we don't have any cash, we can't play the game. So if we don't have a account to trade, we're not in the game. You got to protect that account. I think more of you guys need to go into, I need to protect what I have versus trying to make more. Tony, do you have like an endless source of resources to just buy more accounts? Okay. If you don't, because again, the only reason I ask that because there are some people that do. Like for example, you can take these big streamers that stream prop firms who have taken out very, very large payouts. I mean, they've got endless funds to just continue to cycle through and just blow an account, sure, get another one, blow an account, sure, get another one. So if you don't, your whole goal should be to protect what you have, right? So if you, like, I don't care if you go down, if you're up 1,000 and then you go down 500, guess what? stop trading at 500 because you still have $1,500 worth of drawdown or $2,000 worth of drawdown. You still have, you're still in the game. But if you tell yourself, well, shit, I was up 1,000, now I'm down 500. Fuck it, I'm just gonna go and just risk it all. If I lose it, then I'll just buy another account. You're never gonna get anywhere. Because let me tell you this, the whole goal should always be to come off of the prop firms at some point in time in your career, in your trading career. You want to be trading your own capital at some point in time. So imagine if you were managing, and this works for a lot of people, imagine if you were managing your own account. And let's say you had a $20,000 futures account, right? You built it up, you added some money that you took from some prop firm payouts, you traded it, you built it up, you got $20,000. Let's say you're up $2,000 today, and then you go down, now you're down 1,500. What are you going to say? Fuck it, I'll just risk the rest of the $20,000 I have? No, I don't think anyone would do that. So a lot of you guys, you have this like mental block of, well, I only paid whatever it is for the account, you know, 30 bucks, 40 bucks, 50 bucks, whatever. If I blow it, I'll just buy another one. Okay, great. If you do have endless sources of income, like I've got people in my room, you know, they work great 9 to 5s. They make well over six figures, $150,000, $175,000 a year. They'll go throw $1,000 into a bunch of evaluations, pass them or whatever, fail a couple of them, whatever. They're not really thinking about it, right? But everyone's pockets are different. Like everyone's pockets are different. Like if you don't have pockets that deep, you can't operate like that, right? You need to operate accordingly. So especially if you haven't taken any payouts or you're not consistently taking money out of the markets, whether that be a personal account or prop accounts, if you're not consistently taking money out of these accounts, you need to protect what you have, but you need to also manage this as if it's your own money. So let me ask you a question, Tony. If I gave you $2,000, right? If I gave you $2,000 right now, and I said, put this into a personal futures brokerage, what position, how much size would you take per trade on a $2,000 account? How much size would you take if you had 2,000? And that question goes to anyone. Anyone can answer that. Two lots of what? Two minis or two micros? Two MNQs. Jessica, 1 to 2 micros. 2 micros. I'm curious to hear from Tony, and there was someone else. Mr. Pushup. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna take this phone call. I'd like to see those two guys respond now. All right, so we're looking at we got a lot of people at 1 to 2 micros, 2 MNQs, cut losses at 250 a day, $10 winners, walk away with 50 a day, 1 YM, 1 RTY. Can't stand micros. I don't like NQ too much. Yeah, Tony, do you know what the margin is to trade 1 YM, 1 RTY, 1 NQ? Do you know what the margin is that you need to be able to trade that on average? The initial margin? Because it works a little bit differently than how we trade over here in the futures, right? On the prop firms. So on some of these, you might even need $1,000 in your account just to play one, and you need to have that to cover. So if you, it's like 1,000 per mini, right? It's around 1,000. So let's say this, you can't even trade one mini contract comfortably. If this thing goes against you, $200, $300, $400, you're going to get auto liquidated, and then you can't even trade, right? So if you think about it, whether you like micros or not, your account balance says otherwise, right? Your account balance at a $2,000. If I gave everyone here a $2,000 to start with in a personal brokerage, you can't even trade one mini contract. You know what I'm saying? So think about that. So why do you think the prop firms, again, this is a very simple and easy question. Why do you think prop firms allow you to trade up to 5 minis or 10 minis on a $2,000 drawdown? Because you're gonna fucking blow the account. It's as simple as that. You're gonna blow it. Now, again, can you grow it? Absolutely. On a prop firm, as long as you can trade, you can definitely grow it. You're gonna need to get off to a good start of things. You're going to need to get off to a hot start. You're going to need to make some cash, and you're going to need to build a cushion very quickly and be right on your entries. And then you can have a little bit more breathing room. But truthfully speaking, on a $2,000 account, this is what all of you guys have for a 50K prop firm account. All of you guys right now just said you're going to trade between 1 and 2 micros. Most of you. So, you know, then you should realistically be trading micros. And if not, then good luck, right? So for all of you guys that would trade these micros between 1 and 2 micros, why are you not trading between 1 and 2 micros? You know, why are you not trading between 1 and 2 micros on the prop firms? Why are you not respecting that same type of risk management? Stopping out at $50, giving yourself $150 max drawdown, whatever I read in there, $250 max drawdown per day. Why are we not doing that with the prop firms? And for the couple of you, for the couple of you that are still saying that you would trade one mini contract or whatever, or 2 mini contracts or whatever, the prop firm offers much more leverage. Okay, so Mr. Pushup, how many funded accounts do you have? So with 5 funded accounts, so you trade those funded accounts the same way? You trade them 1, 2 mini contracts? Or no? And you take at least one payout a month, I would assume, right? I like the bigger drawdown. I like the bigger drawdown. So that's also something for some of you guys to also note. Those of you guys who do like to trade minis, I would say your sweet spot, to be honest, needs to be at those 150 to 250K evaluations, because that doesn't just give you $2,500 worth of drawdown or $2,000 worth of drawdown. It gives you closer to $4,000, $4,500 worth of drawdown. So if you're on a 50K account, the most you guys should be trading is 5-6 micros. If you're on a 150K account, if you're on a 250K account, you can trade 1 to 2 mini contracts and have a little bit more cushion. Okay, so again, where do you fall, right? That's a question for a lot of you guys to answer. Well, I've got more 50K accounts. Well, then you should be on the micro side of things. Well, I've got 250K account. Great, then trade 1 or 2 mini contracts. That's fine, right? Now, when you talk about evaluation to prop firm or to funded accounts, completely different, right? I'll go out and I'll go buy 5, 6, 7 evaluations, right? When I'm looking to add a scale, right? By trying to add 1 or 2 more funded accounts, and I'll go out there and I'll trade 3 to 5 minis on a 50K with full intentions of knowing that I'm going to lose out of the 5, 6 accounts. I might lose 2 or 3 of those accounts, but I also might make the profit target and pass 1 or 2 of those accounts. That's fine. You know, you get these things on a sale for 25 bucks, 35 bucks. You go out there, spend $300, spend 250 bucks. You go out there and get 5 of them, 10 of them. You blow some of them, you pass some of them. Great. I understood that going into it. That was a business investment I was willing to take, because again, time is money, right? So time is money. So me personally, I'm not going to sit here and trade a evaluation account for 1-2 months to pass. It doesn't do me any justice. I have bills to pay around here, so I need to pass them quickly. But once I get into the funded stage, I'm not sitting here trading them like an absolute animal because I'm trying to make $1,000 a day, right? So it's all about positioning. It's all about positioning. What are you trying to do? Do you have that realistic expectation, right? Like, do you have that plan? I don't really see a point in growing 50K into 80K. It doesn't really make any sense, because you can only take out $4,000 max, even if you hit the pay cycle both times, right? 10 days and 10 days. I mean, it's only 4,000 per one account. So what good is $80,000 going to do? Give you more drawdown? Okay, right? You're well over the threshold. It gives you more drawdown. Sure, but you still can only take out 4,000, right? Per account. So for me, I've never really been too interested in running up a serious balance like that. I'll get the things to like 3,500, 4,000, take 2,000, right? So because I know at this stage of the game what it takes to pass. Okay, so like think about it like this. This is for all of you guys out there. Let's say you have one account, you take it to $3,500, $4,000. You take a payout of $2,000. Great. I'll take $200 of that and I'll go buy 5 more evaluations, and I'll go aggressively try to pass a couple more. Out of those 5, I'm for sure going to pass 1, more than likely pass 2. I might lose 3. Okay, now I've just added another one. So when I take that $2,000 out, maybe now I have $1,500 worth of drawdown. Sometimes it's $1,200, sometimes it's been $1,800, whatever. Let's say worst case scenario, I lose that funded account. Well, guess what? I've got a backup ready to go that's ready to be traded, right? So again, you always need to be replenishing if you are playing minis and you're playing like that. The only other thing you can do is when you do get into the funded accounts is trade those micros and really try to slowly grow that account, where it's going to take you a month to make 3,000 or 4,000, or 2 months to make that, because you're trading micros. But it's a much more slower approach, because some people don't want to be out there constantly taking evaluations. But it's all got to be in the business plan, right? It's all got to be in the business plan. And that's another thing too, because I was talking to a couple of the people in my room that have been taking out payouts. We've got some guys in our room that consistently take out between $6,000 and $10,000 at least a month, every month from Apex. The goal here is not to, you know, like, the goal is not to like have some screenshot of you with a $80,000 account, right? Because that's what we're talking about. Because realistically, what matters is what's coming into your pocket, right? What's going into your pocket. And again, with Apex, a lot of you guys who are with Apex, a lot of you guys who are on social media, you guys are seeing what's floating around with Apex right now, right? This whole video verification crap. Okay, I'm not even going to get into that because it's completely irrelevant, right? I'm not even going to get into that. It is what it is. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. Is it right? Who cares what I think? But a lot of these guys who are running up these huge balances like that, where they've got these 250K accounts or 50K accounts where the balances are 100,000 on a 50K account, and they're requesting just back-to-back payouts of 40,000, 20,000. It's raising all these fucking red flags, right? It's raising a lot of red flags. Why? Because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, Apex is still a business, and they have a business to run, and they have a bottom line to protect. You can really get a handful of traders who are out there taking 40,000 every couple of weeks, 80,000, you know, between a few traders, 100,000, I mean, $1 million, right? Some of these traders, like, think about it. You can really hurt a company. So they're trying to do what they can do to protect their ass, Apex, right? Now, is it fair for everybody? No. But again, they're a business and they're trying to do what's right for their business, just like you are trying to do what's right for your business. I've always been one, especially with prop firms, to fly under the radar, right? I don't want to make any noise, you know? Like, I don't want to come in and have attention on me. I don't want to try to, you know, throw around screenshots of this and that. For what? For what? It does me no good. No one really fucking cares, right? But let me take my 6 accounts and let me take my $2,000 out of those accounts a month. You know, for those of you guys who are taking the minimum payout once every 2 weeks, that's fantastic. I'm on a once a month kind of payout thing with these guys. I don't really try to stress it too much. As long as I can get my accounts to pay out at least once a month, I'm fine, right? So take the 6 accounts, get at least one payout a month. That's fine. You know, so it is what it is. You know, I mean, like, just stay under the radar, make your 2,000 per account, you know, rotate them in. What's going to raise flags, guys? I'll tell you this, and this is just my opinion, but I believe it. You got 20 accounts, you request a payout for 2,000 times a 20, 40,000, and then you're requesting it again in another 2 weeks. That's $80,000. That's going to raise flags. That's going to raise some serious flags. Now, are you going to get it? Sure, there's been people who are getting them, but it's like you're opening the door to your account being looked at very, very closely. Why not just skate under 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 accounts? Stagger them out, right? Instead of submitting all fucking 20 payouts this pay period, submit 6 or 7, and then in another couple weeks, do another 6 accounts or 4 accounts or whatever, right? Stagger them out. So you're like flying under the radar. So as they're running their scans and are doing this and that, they're not worried about the guy who's got 3 or 4 accounts that wants to take out 6,000, 8,000. They're worried about the guy who's trying to collect 40 grand on him. You know what I'm saying? And then utilize the other firms. You got Top Step, you got Take Profit, you got that new one, Fast Track, you got MFF, you got a bunch of them, right? Like, you take out enough money from these firms, I'm still in the boat. It's because where I came from is trading real capital, right? So even these prop firms, it seems gamey to me. Like, it seems gimmicky to me, right? Like, it seems very gimmicky. You know, if you really want to run something up, or like you have something to show for it, then go run up your own personal account, you know, like, But that's the thing. People don't want to risk, right? You don't want to risk your own cash. You'd rather risk money on their valuations. Well, then I'll just say this, and I'm not saying this to any of you guys. I'm just speaking it out loud. Don't cry when your $40,000, $20,000 payout gets denied. Don't cry. That's what you wanted to do. You didn't want to risk your own cash to make $20,000. So don't cry when your paper money doesn't get approved. You know? But that's the thing. Well, it's not fair. You know, well, I paid for the account. Like, come on. You paid $35 plus $85 activation or $100 activation. You're in this account for $130 a pop. Even if you have 20 of them, you're in these accounts for $2,500 and you're trying to take out 40,000. It's a hell of a risk to reward ratio. I'm gonna raise the red flag on you too. You know. It's like I hate even talking about this stuff, but like that's the big topic of conversation right now on the on social media, Apex. And again, it's like if some people don't like what they're doing, then just fucking move firms. Just move firms, you know, like make your money, make sure you get paid. If you really don't like it or you don't want that stress, go to another one. I mean, go to Top Step. Like, again, their accounts are a little bit more, but like you can do whatever you want over there. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have ever tuned into that Top Step TV that they got. These guys are dollar cost averaging, jumping in trades here, long, wherever, fucking losing $20,000 on their house account like crazy. And it's like, it's a wild, wild west over there, and they're paying out people. So it's like, you know, you don't like it. You know what people don't like? They don't like spending the extra money. They don't like spending the extra money. Yeah. If you want to stay in the prop firm game, we are losing this 20 SMA again, guys. We never really got back into those IB highs. That's crazy. That's crazy. Guys, we're confirming this 20 SMA short here, but again, we're so far deep late into this day. This action has dried up. About 40 minutes ago, the ATR was sitting at around 35 points. We're down to 27 here, and it's slowly declining. It seems bad. It seems bad for them, for Apex. It seems bad. In my opinion, there was a lot of guys who really, in that, this is before they did the whole did away with the dollar cost average thing. But there was a lot of guys who were really taking big size, taking 2 or 3 points, right, on like full leverage, 10 accounts on 10 contracts, taking 2 or 3 points, and then dollar cost averaging in. That really hurt them. And then once they made the adjustment, just like any smart crook would do, right? I'm not calling them crooks, but any smart person would do. You adjusted to it. You found the workaround, and people took some huge payouts. I think Apex really took a big hit. I think they took a big hit. And they're trying, just like I was telling my guys in Evolution Traders when that whole dollar cost average thing was coming out, I said, just, you know what? Right now they're denying people for this dollar cost average shit. How about we do this? And we all did this. We waited a pay period, right? We were all eligible for payouts. We let that pay period go. We seen a bunch of people getting denied for this, that, and the other. and then we waited, you know, another 2 weeks, and we slipped in under the radar on the next one, and nothing. It just went through like whatever. So like right now, again, for even if those of you guys are ready for these payouts, the first through fifth pay period cycle, to be honest, guys, in my honest opinion, I would let this one slide. I'd go after the pay cycle on the 15th. Let it slide. Maybe try one, but I wouldn't. The thing is that I haven't been flagged yet for the video thing. It's like I just wouldn't want to get flagged on the video thing, and then that starts flagging all my payouts for a video, you know? Which I don't have a problem with uploading videos or anything, but it's just like it's a pain in the ass. Like, what the hell? Tony, you asking me that? Maybe. Maybe. You talking about like streamers who are preaching that they are getting paid still to keep that hamster wheel going? Well, like right now, who are the biggest Apex streaming? Who are the biggest Apex streamers right now? We can name them. It doesn't really matter. You got PW who rocks Apex right now. You still have trades by Matt, and then you have Alpine, who are all pretty big, right? Those are ones that are all the pretty big ones. But again, I haven't seen any of those guys on their oh yeah, Nutty's another one. I haven't seen any of those guys talk about this yet, right? Like has Matt talked about if he got submitted for video? I think the last stream that I try to keep up with Alpine to see how he was doing, I think he said in his comment section that he got requested for video. But again, is that true? Is that just to say that so they feel like, so it makes everyone else feel like they're in the same boat? Maybe, but I don't know though. Yeah, see, so Alpine got requested for videos, which I know they've screwed Alpine before. I mean, they took away his whole opening range trade. I know they did that because he was tearing it up with that. Exactly. That's what push up. That's what I tell my guys in my room. Like, look at, you're a shark, right? We're doing this for one reason only, to make fucking money, right? So any way that you can do it, right? If whatever you're doing right now is working and you're getting payouts, continue to do it. Continue to run it up. Continue to hammer your trades. Continue to add more accounts until something changes. I've never been one to like dive into it where it's like a couple days ago there was a couple people even in my room that brought it up about this video verification. I'm not worried about it until they don't give me my money. That's it. I'm not going to sit here and cry about it or deal with it. If it does happen and they go that route, or even if that whole thing comes to an end with them, which I don't think it will, but who knows, then we go somewhere else. We go somewhere else and we do it. And then hopefully you've been protecting yourself and putting money into a personal account and you have the skills to actually trade and this, that, and other. Yeah, there's no point to sit here and like, you know, cry about it. I noticed that too about I noticed that he's been having a tough time. He's been having a tough time. But again, I mean, he came off some, like, it's like I've been in this trading business and the social media business for a long time, right? I've seen a lot of traders. He's been trading for a long time, even before this. But I've seen it happen a lot for a lot of people, not even in the prop firm space. When you have really big months or a really big quarter or a really big trade, you tend to start playing more loose and you tend to start getting in your head a lot. And realistically, you got to keep things grounded and you have to stay focused. It's a lot easier said than done. One can say, yeah, I'm focused, I'm managing my risk, and you're still losing. But it's like you have to stay, not like let it get to you, right? But again, I mean, you know, yeah, it is a wild, wild west. That's for damn sure. Price action is drying up like Elmer's glue right now. You know, I mean, Alpine's already had a great year. Like he could not even trade at all, and his year would be outstanding for the books. I don't know how much he's at. I know he's well over like 150, 170,000 or something in payouts. It's great. And when I was taught how to trade, when I was taught how to trade, the person who taught me how to trade's been in trading world for over, I think it was at that time 25 years. So it's older fellow, family friend of mine, and he said realistically, you're gonna make money 3 to 4 months out of the year. 3 to 4 months out of the year, right? The other months, you're gonna be up a little bit, you're gonna be flat, you're gonna have some down, right? But it's about those 3 to 4 months out of the year where you really matter, where you really are making money, right? So even this is the only problem I have with like a lot of the streamers, right? They the streamers get a lot of heat because it's like people that watch them want to see them make money every day. And when they do lose, like I've gone sometimes after the fact and I've watched a couple of Alpine's videos and like I'll read the comments. I like to see like what people are saying in the live chat. And it's like they'll hammer him like if he has like a $800 red day or something or a $500 red day and it's times whatever 10 accounts or 20 accounts, yeah, he's down 10,000, 15,000, whatever. But they gotta like understand like he's taken out more money than what he's invested into it. And it's like realistically speaking, a trader, I don't give a shit who you are. You can be the best fucking trader on Wall Street. You think that they don't lose? You think that these institutions don't lose? You think that these banks don't lose? You think that hedge funds don't lose? Like they're all gonna lose. Everyone loses. For a trader to come in every single day and make money is extremely hard. It's extremely hard. But it's like I said, it's not about what happened to like what he did today or what he lost this week or how many accounts he lost. Who gives a shit? The guy can go buy 20 more accounts and go past 10 more of them on Tuesday. Like it's he's got the money to do it. So realistically, if you go back to what was told to me, you only really make money 3, 4, maybe 5 months out of the year. The rest of it is shit. It's just scratch here, up here, down here, whatever, down month, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But his 3, 4 months, his quarter and a half, his 2 quarters where he made money is more than all those people in his chat have made, right? And the same thing goes for a lot of the other guys. Even trades by Matt, he's taking great payouts. Now I haven't seen Matt talk about what he's taken out recently, but again, even if Matt doesn't make anything between now and the end of the year, I think he's taking the same thing, taking over $100,000, $150,000 a year. That's a great year for a retail trader. 100,000 to 200,000 is a great year for a retail trader. You know. It's like when the times are good, you have to really hammer it home. This 20 play is working out here. 19,461 into 19,478. That hit for 5 and 10 points. I don't know if anyone's still trading or watching that, but that hit for 5 and 10 points. The last short one trapped everybody. Could have made your money back. The Apex drawdown being a scam, it's not a scam. It's not a scam. It's just them running a business. That's all it is. It's just them running a business. But it's like this. Okay, it's like this. So I had this conversation with someone on a one-on-one coaching call earlier this week. They were complaining about a rule from a prop firm. I don't even need to get into it. But let's just say it was you, right? Let's just say it was you. Why not go to another firm that doesn't have that? Right? Why not go to another firm? It's not your fault, but why not go to another firm? Why are you using Apex? Go to another firm that doesn't have that trailing high watermark threshold. Like Top Step doesn't have it. Why not use them? For the people that are in my room, yeah, we do one-on-ones. Because I've heard that a lot about Apex. People don't like that trailing threshold, which I agree, it can be a pain in the ass, which is why I would always recommend, if you're a scalper, great, use Apex. Use Apex. You know, use Apex if you're a scalper. If you're a trader who likes to zone trade a little bit and let these things wiggle around a lot, Apex is not the firm for you. I'm not trading anymore. I'm done today. I'm done today. We're up 855 on the Apex account, and we're up 1,000 on the Top Steps. I'm done today. I'm just here shooting the shit. Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm just still calling it for anyone who's looking at those trades, right? And because I mean, truthfully speaking, like let's say I was up $100 or $200, I probably would have thrown some cash at it and see if I could have caught it. But right now, I'm just trying to protect what I got. But I mean, this one did work out. The short didn't though. The short would have got stopped, but this long has worked out. No, we talk about whatever. We talk about whatever. So sometimes it's strategy talk, right? Sometimes it's strategy talk, sometimes it's mindset talk, sometimes it's building out a trade plan as far as risk management based on what you got and where you want to be. Sometimes it's whatever. It's whatever one is having trouble with. I'll try to like work through that with them and provide like my opinion on what I think you could do better. Because a lot of times it's one simple thing. Like it's one simple thing that can make an adjustment. Like put it to you this way. I don't want to give too much detail because obviously, you know, these conversations are private, but I'm not going to use any names or anything, but I can give you a general example. I had a trader who booked a one-on-one call that's in my room last week, and they had a pretty bad 2 days last week. They have 20 funded accounts with Apex, and I believe they lost $500, $600 back-to-back days across the board on all 20 accounts. Now, their drawdown was at around $1,000. Um, so it was kind of like you know, where do you go from here? You're kind of feeling a little bit down. You're feeling a little bit of lack of confidence in yourself and in your trading. And what I realized on that particular person is that is that they were losing. It wasn't a problem with risk management. I think they had like $150, $200 stop loss per trade type of deal. But what was happening was is when they took the first loss off the open or the first trade of the day, that caused an emotional reaction to want to overtrade and either A, size up or take more trades to get it back, right? Because they didn't want to continue to go down. So it caused a whole domino effect on all 20 accounts. When realistically, I broke it down like this. If you have 20 accounts, all with $2,500 drawdown, and you're copy trading them across, again, I'm not pro or against copy trading, to be honest. I don't copy trade any more than 2 accounts at a time. That's just me. But anyways, you're giving yourself on 20 accounts $2,500 worth of drawdown if you're copy trading them all. So God forbid something happens and you blow up one account, guess what? You just lost all 20 of them. If I was to tell you right now, would you want $2,500 worth of drawdown or would you want $45,000 worth of drawdown? Which would you take? So if I told each and every single one of you, I'll give you $2,500 to trade with in a personal account, or I'll give you $45,000 to trade in a personal account, which would you take? I would like to believe that everyone would take $45,000 worth of drawdown in an account size versus 2,500, right? So what you're doing by copy trading all 20 accounts is, yeah, the reward is huge, but the risk is just way too big. It's way too big to risk that, because if you're, God forbid you're wrong, you don't see the market right? If you don't see the market right for even just a couple of days, even a couple of trades, you can risk losing all 20 accounts. Mind you, these are all funded accounts. We're not talking about funny money evals. These are funded accounts. So with that being said, if you spread out that risk, now you have $45,000 worth of drawdown between the at least $40,000 to $50,000 worth of drawdown between the 20 accounts. What the adjustment that was made is, instead of copy trading every single 20 accounts, maybe what we want to do is break them up into 5 accounts at a time, right? Copy trade 5 accounts at a time. On one, we have a tier where we're a little bit more aggressive, where we play 1 to 3 mini contracts, okay? And we're looking for 1 to 2 trades only. If we hit that 1 trade, we stop. If we hit 2 trades, we stop. There is no more trades taken other than 1 to 2 trades. Then we have a bracket where we're going to trade 5 micro contracts, right? And we're going to copy trade 5 of those accounts on 5 micro contracts. And again, the same thing. If we hit 2 to 3 trades on that, we're done. And then we have another one where we're looking for a little bit more of a higher price target, and we're going to trade anything between 1 and 2 micros, but we're looking for a higher profit target, right? And we're going to trade those. And ever since that, not only has the money been recovered, from those 2 days of drawdown trading the 20 accounts, he's actually back in the profit by $1,000. So normally it's one thing that's going on in the trading where you can make that one adjustment before it's too late. And sometimes it helps having a team or people to talk to. Again, like I'm not a fucking rocket scientist or anything, but I have been doing this. Hey, look at Nate. Nate in our room just pulled down a $2,100 day. Fantastic. And then Shifting Gears also pulled down $1,300 day. Fantastic. But anyways, so you have these there's normally something that we can find where we can make some type of adjustment, because as a trader, like again, I've mentioned, if you keep slamming your head against the wall, you can only slam your head against the wall so much until you say, you know what, fuck, this hurts. Like, I need to make a change. And with trading, sometimes that change might come on a week-by-week basis. Sometimes it's on a day-by-day basis. Sometimes it's even a trade-by-trade basis. There was a time, I think it was last month or even the month before, where I was scalping 1 to 2 minis at a time, just looking for quick scalps on 5 points. And it was going up 4 points, 4.5 points, 4 points and a tick, and then coming back down. I said, you know what, screw this. I'm going to keep the same strategy for just today and tomorrow. I'm going to go to a 4-point take profit, and I'm going to take those 4 points until I feel that the market is giving me that range that's going to allow that. And sure enough, that was the only adjustment I needed to do to get me back into that sweet spot. And again, you got to make those adjustments in real time. Now, just because you make an adjustment doesn't mean that it's got to be a lifelong adjustment. Sometimes the market conditions require you to switch from trading 1 to 2 minis to trading maybe 3 to 5 micros and opening up that stop loss. If you've got a 10-point stop loss, a 15, 20-point stop loss, maybe we need to open that up to 30, 35 points, but trade it on micros so we can allow the volatility to play into that and we can still see the move play out, right? So it's always one or two things that need to be adjusted on. FOMO's a big one, over trading, emotions, revenge trading, all of that's a big ones too, but we got to find the root cause, right? There's always a root cause of that. A lot of times traders are rushing the process. They're trying to get to some fictitious number. They're looking at other people. They're doing something. There's something that's triggering that emotional attachment to making the money that is causing you to overtrade. What is it, right? So those are some of the things that you can try to figure out in a one-on-one session that you can't really do, when the market opens, right? There's a lot of great rooms out there. And again, I don't really promote my room all that much because I like a small team. Keeps it easier for me to work with. But like, you have to just find traders who you can trade with, or someone that kind of, matches your style. And again, a lot of rooms, it's just kind of like, here's the levels, right? Here's some levels. Here's a strategy. Use it, make money or not. But a lot of times, people trade different sizes. They have different emotional attachments to money. They don't feel comfortable with a 2-minute chart. They don't feel comfortable with a 5-minute chart. Maybe they like to hold trades longer. Not every trader is the same. If we were all the same, all of our P&L balances would be the same every single day, right? But they're not. I can guarantee you this. I can put 20 people in a room, give you one strategy, and I can guarantee you there's going to be 15 to 16, 17, 18 different outcomes on those 20 traders using the same strategy. There'll be a different outcome because some people will be more hesitant. They'll miss a trade. Some people will be more greedy. Some people will hit stop loss and not obey it. Everyone's different. That's why strategies are like assholes. It doesn't really matter. Like your strategy doesn't really matter. What you need is some type of edge, some type of system that repeats itself enough to where you can run the numbers on it over 50 trades, 100 trades, and then start to make these adjustments, The thing is that if you think in terms of potential, when the potential doesn't play out is when traders will have a problem, right? You know, because when you have a plan and that plan doesn't work is what creates the problem. Okay. So you have to have a two-sided plan. If it works to potential, what's the next step? If the plan doesn't work to potential, and now there's a downside to that plan, how am I going to correct and stop that? And how am I going to reverse that before I fall into some type of downward spiral, right? Again, trading is very, very emotional. Um, it's very, very emotional, and you have to set yourself up for success. So a lot of the times as traders, we don't really set ourselves up for success because all we're thinking about is the potential upside, which is why Apex for so long was so popular and so many people, because the potential, it's the way that it was marketed. The potential of having 20 accounts times 2,000 times 2 payouts a month, wow, is huge. That's all you're fixated on. When half the people out there struggle to even pass an evaluation in a timely manner, and not only when they pass it, have trouble even taking out $2,000 or $4,000 a month. Why are we focused on making 20 or 40,000? Why are you focused on trying to copy 10 accounts, 20 accounts, 5 accounts at a time when you haven't even taken out money from one account consistently? Like, I'd rather someone have 2 accounts, go take out $4,000 a month, do that for 2 or 3 months, learn the business, learn the system, right? Learn the way, and then scale up. Scale up, right? The potential's always there. In this type of business, the only thing it takes to make more money is to not make more money per trade. It's to have more money to trade. So when it comes to the prop business, the way to do that is by having more accounts. It's not by trying to make $10,000 this month on one account. It's by trying to make $3,000 times 10 accounts. That's how you scale. Next month, we try to have 11 accounts. Next month, we try to have 12. Month after 13. So if you're gradually trying to scale your business over time, the results that you are looking for will come more naturally and organically than if you just tell yourself, I'm trying to pass 5-10 accounts this month and I want to get payouts on 10 accounts. Can you prove to yourself that you can do it on 1 or 2 accounts first? Take the stress off of your shoulders and try to at least get something. Because again, remember, one payout on one account pays for the activation fee, pays for your sign-up fee, and it also will allow you to buy 2 or 3 more accounts. You don't learn patience, you practice patience. Patience is hard, right? So like, it's not like we're going to learn how to be patient. You can't tell yourself, I need to be more patient, right? You practice patience by doing the hard shit, right? So what's hard to do? I've done this twice in the past 2 months. Taken losing trades in the first 15 minutes. I've told myself, that's it. I'm on timeout for 1 week's trading. I cannot even look for a trade or take a trade setup until after 30 minutes. That's practicing patience. Doing something that is hurting me, I need to change, but I need to practice patience. So if you don't practice patience and you just keep telling yourself subconsciously, I need to be more patient, I need to just slow down, I need to do this, I need to do that. Yeah, we all need to do a lot of things, right? Like we all need to hit the gym, an extra day a week, right? Like we all need to do, save a little bit more cash at the end of the month, right? We all need to do a lot of things, right? But it's like at the end of the day, it's not trading, it's in life in general. Like you all, myself included, need to pay attention to the people in your inner circle, family, spouse, significant other, children, loved one, a little bit more, right? A lot of times people take things for granted until it's too late, right? So when it comes to learning patience, you need to practice patience through repetition. If you need to learn how to not overtrade, it's practicing not overtrading. So how can you practice not overtrading? Great. How many trades do you normally take in a day, right? We can start there. So if someone was to come to me on a one-on-one, right, and I'll give you guys just a free 5-minute one-on-one. If someone was to come to me and tell me, I'm over trading, I do really well, but I seem to give a lot of profits back at either the end of the day or the end of the week or something. I'm taking too many trades. I'm revenge trading. I'm getting emotional. Great. How many trades are you actively taking a day right now? That number you should know. If you don't know that number, how many trades you're taking every day, right? So, okay, I'm taking 7 trades. Great. This is what we're going to do. For the next 2 weeks, we're only going to take 3 trades. We're going to cut that 7 to 3 automatically in half. What's the next step? Regardless of the outcome, we are going to live and die by that outcome. So If you are normally over trading and you're finding yourself taking 7 or 8 trades a day, we're going to cut that number down to 3. Whether you're profitable or you're negative at the end of 3 trades, you're not going to be allowed to trade anymore. How are you going to make this? How are you going to make this a little bit more serious so you take it serious? Because again, nobody's monitoring you. You can do whatever you want to do, right? You're your own human being. Well, how about you put this into perspective? How about if you were given a job as a trader in an office, and they say 90-day probation period, you can only take 3 trade setups. Here's the system, here's the strategy that we want you to use. This is your risk management that we want you to follow, but you can only take 3 setups. Right? You can only take 3 setups a day, whether you're green or you're red. We're not worried about the outcome. We just need to get through the next block of 100 trades, right? You have to have that in place and you have to stick to it. And if you don't stick to that plan, well, guess what? We're no longer going to employ you. You're not going to be allowed to trade for our firm and you're going to be out on the streets. And if you have no money coming in, guess what? You're going to lose your house, you're going to lose your car, you're going to lose your insurance, you're going to lose your family, you're going to lose whatever, right? Put something, a mental attachment to this. That way it becomes more real. The same way I kind of told you guys earlier, if you were trading your own personal account with $2,000, how much would you trade, right? Why don't you manage your prop firm, your funded accounts? Again, evaluations, trade them however you want. But your funded accounts, why don't you manage it as if it was real cash? Oh, because it's just right? The thing is this, even to this comment here, someone was up $300 or $1,300, almost about to pass an evaluation and blew it. I get it. It's an evaluation. It only costs a couple bucks. I get it. But what's the difference, my friend, if you passed it today, right? What's the difference if you passed that evaluation today or you passed it next Tuesday? Why not be content and happy with the 1,300 versus trying to pass it today for some type of emotional gratitude or fortitude, whatever you want to put the word, like no one cares, buddy, right? No one cares if you're going to pass it today or tomorrow. And guess what? Markets aren't even open until next week anyways. So it's not like we're losing any money where even if we take an extra day or 2 days to pass this thing, that is lost time. That's all pressure we're putting on ourselves. We're putting this pressure on ourselves for no reason at all. Because whether we pass it today or next Wednesday or next Thursday, guess what? I don't know what firm you're on, but if you're on something like Apex, you need 10 trading days anyways before you're even eligible for a payout. So you're not even that far behind. Like, here's a rule. I've seen this a lot in the chat. A lot of people who have said up 1,000, give it all back. Up 1,200, give it back. Up 1,300, blew an account. Guys, if you're up over like 750, just do yourself a favor and just unplug. You're up 1,000, you see $1,000 on your screen, just stop. Like, just stop altogether. You know, altogether. Give me a quick second, guys. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to grab some water. It looks like that original 20 or that last 20 play long is still kind of in play, no? I don't know if anyone is still actively trading it, but you would have had little to no drawdown. I think you would have had maybe 15 points of drawdown, maybe not even that, maybe 10 points of drawdown at any one point in time. 61 to 53, about 10, 12 points of drawdown, and it's continued to push higher. So that if you guys want to back test that, at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we closed over the 20 SMA. That high price is 19,461, currently being traded at 19,490. It's a 30-point move. Even if you were trading one micro, it's a $60 bank in your pocket. If you're trading one mini, well, Be right back. What's going on, guys? Hey guys, how many likes do I have on this video? You guys can help me out by hitting the like button. We're pushing back up into the initial balance highs here, opening range of the 30-minute candle lows. If I was to look at the 30-minute view here, nice little push up from the floor, right? Nice little push up from the floor here. We're coming into this 20 SMA supply, aka resistance. If we can get back into this zone, you might see a little late day power hour push there. If not, I would expect the pullback to start happening here closer towards the top of the hour. And if you're going to get a power hour flush, what I would look for would be a level of 19,473. Below that, I think that you're going to see a pretty drastic kind of pull if that happens. Now, the 1 hour chart has recently crossed and is looking like it's going to close over this 20 SMA. We're right at previous hour highs, as well as our highs from 8 a.m. Pacific Standard. So if we confirm the highs, whatever this candle closes on a 1 hour time frame, that puts us back into initial balance and a potential to kind of get back into the upper half of this range. Okay. Let's see here. Nate, I do have some videos up. Look at the push up. Jesus. I do have some videos out there. I have to go through them. I've got so many damn videos. I'll try to find something and see if I could post it and see if it hits your feed. So how many of you DJs out there are still trying to trade? A lot. Stiff rejection here at the initial balance low. Oops. Stiff rejection. I'd like to see what we do at the top of the hour, to be honest. This move here is kind of a runaway train already. So if we do see more continuation, I'd like to see it at the top of the hour versus chasing this move. Because again, remember, this is what I think, right? A lot of times, because this happens. So the original play, I want you guys to think about this. The original play was here, right? That 20 SMA play, that's like, it's like the only strategy that I really, talk about here on YouTube. In the room, we have a bunch of other stuff, but again, if we just look at that, right? Your stop loss is where, right? Below the lows. Your entry is where? Once we confirm that high wick, okay? So this is your entry. This is the candle you would have been entering in on, right? This move went from 19,461 all the way to 19,517, okay? So we're talking about a 50-point move. It would be foolish to try to chase this continuing move, right? I think everyone would kind of agree on that. Because the perfect entry was the setup on the strategy, okay? That was the perfect entry. We had a defined risk. So figure out how many contracts you want to trade on that defined risk. Let it ride from there. Now that we have pushed up, I need to see something happen in order for me to have a reaction, okay? So that something that happened needs to be a pullback, a hold, and then take out these highs, okay? Or I need to lose the 20 SMA again for a potential downside move, okay? So what I'll be focusing on here would be this hour chart. Now this hour candle is closing and getting rejected here at that initial balance. If you're in a short, get green and get out. I'm not saying that's not going lower, but just you want to be taking green on the way down. I took the short when that initial candle confirmed below it. What candle? Like you're in short in this range here? Yeah, I mean, I would hold it because this is the first attempt that we've had at this initial balance low all day. So this is a first test. You can see a pullback. If we start to take out lows of 19,497, you can see a little bit of potential continuation potential down. But if we, the closer we get into the top of the hour, right? If we confirm the highs, again, going back to the hourly chart, if we confirm this hour chart highs, take this line up. If we confirm the hour chart highs, hourly chart highs, then we've got a lot of room to just continue to just grind into power hour. I would look for that rejection. I don't see nothing wrong with the short play there, but we've got to have some type of well-defined risk on a stop, and that's got to be like above the highs, right? Above the high of this hour candle. So like anything over 518, 520 has got to be like a stop. The stop is too tight. It's too tight. So you were short at 507. It moved stop to 506, and it dropped to 500, then totally came back and stopped you out. What's your how much size are you playing? How much size are you playing? This is another thing that I see too with a lot of people. We are trying to scalp. I'm going to make a point right now. 1 NQ. So how much are you looking for if it's a scalp? And what was your stop loss? How many points was a stop loss? And how many points were you looking for take profit? You wanted 10 points. I'm assuming you were risking 10 points. That's just it. I moved my stop loss. Moved it though. Risk 5. We can't risk 5 on the NQ though. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. 5 points is not enough on the NQ. I get it. You want to risk 100 to make 200. It's just not enough. It's like 5 points on the NQ is a fucking sneeze, you know? Like it's just like this thing moves 5 points. You blink your eye and it moves 5 points. It's not truthfully not enough. Like the ATR is 22 points. Now I'm not saying to risk $400, but it's like if we want to be involved in that move, then maybe we go like 5 micros, right? 5 micros and give yourself, I don't know, 15 points risk, right? To make 10. It wouldn't have mattered. I mean, the fucking thing is pushing up, you know, it would have been stopped out regardless, but NQ's harsh, but yeah, I mean, but it pays well. I mean, we could look at the ES. You guys trade the ES? We could look at the ES. Look at the fucking ES. Look at this thing. Look at this fucking thing. Look at this guy. Same thing, 20 play there, set up and ran. It actually back tested it and ran. Look at this fucking ES. I mean, I suppose the NQ's doing the same, but look at this thing. Like, look at like the ES, you have an average range of 5 points. So like I could see putting a 5-point stop. Like think about this. Think about this. What doter. Think about this, man. The ES has an average range of 5 points. You can put a 5-6 point stop loss on the ES, you know, and target like a 1-to-1. But like the NQ, the average range on a 5-minute time frame is 20 plus points, sometimes 30. So that's way too tight. Like you would have to be yes right, and it would have to move instantly in your favor. You're giving it no room to wiggle. It's no harm, no foul. It's, I don't know, loss, but look at the ES plays that played out today. This is the 9-point range. You could have targeted 5 points there. $642 to $646. This ES moves too damn slow for me. I don't have the patience for that nonsense. Look at the fucking move. Look at the move. Look at the move. Now you're long on the ES. Look at the move. Just be careful, Tony. Because again, here's that point I'm making. I mean, the move started back here. Like, this was the move. It started back here. We're jumping in way at the top. You know, how far does this go? I don't know, but like, we're jumping at the top. Whoops. I'm waiting for the top of the hour. I might throw a couple micros on something. I want to see what happens here on the next candle. VIX is selling off, huh? Yeah, that'd be fucking sweet. Yeah, we can ride to, if we could ride to 20,000, yeah, let's do it. I mean, if we could ride even to the highs, even if we could just ride another 100 points. But you got to think about it. NASDAQ's only up 135 today. That's not shit, right? That's not nothing. You know, NASDAQ, 100 points, it's up 0.5%. It's nothing. We got one more candle here before the top of the hour. What are we thinking here? What are we thinking? What are we thinking here? Are we going to catch something or not? Got a 20 SMA play on a 1 hour chart. 100-point range. We're going to catch something else. What have the fibs got us at? What is this? From high to low. 61.8% retracement here. What is that? Is that the golden pocket? Is that what they call it? Who here trades fibs? Is that the golden pocket? 61.8? Or is that what it is? Typically would be a spot for a pullback here off that 61.8. You guys want to try to play some fibs into the close? Let me take all this crap off. I'm always game for messing around. Shit. Let's take all this crap off. Let's go from high to low on a five on a, I'm using a 5-minute chart here to get some ranges. Let's throw up a fib from high to low. Right. So that breaking through that 50% retracement through this little double top here at 19,500 was a good move. That was a 30-point move into the next supply. So next supply, 19,530. That was a 30-point move. We could have captured that. This is a good spot here for that short. See what I'm saying about the short on the fucking it was just too early. Like the short that you had on was a good idea. It was just too early. There was nothing wrong with that idea. It was just like 5 minutes too early. What I'm thinking here, what I'm thinking here is I feel like playing around a little bit, right? So if the hour candle confirms the highs, right? If we can confirm 19538, I've got room to 70s, 570s. So maybe 30 points worth of upside into my next supply zone based on the fibs, okay? If we get down below 19,500, I've got support at 478 and 468. I think those are the levels that I'm gonna play here. And we're gonna play micros, obviously. How many? I don't know. What do you think I should play? We can use the Top Step account. We can do we can do micros. I've got $1,400 profit here, so don't screw me up too bad, but I'm willing to risk a couple hundred. I'm willing to risk a couple hundred. How many micros and what are we looking for? Let's see if we could put something together here as a team. Yeah, 5 minis. You're tripping, AJ. That's crazy. What are we thinking here, guys? New hour candle. I got no one now. No one wants to talk now. No one wants to talk. Someone's got to have an opinion out there. Nice. 650 on ES. Good. Good. We're going long through what? Previous hour highs? Tony, what do you think? Previous hour highs, we go long? What are we targeting? 70s? 8 what? Minis? Crazy, man. I'm not playing minis. $560 target. 560 target. What's entry? Over like what? 537? 538? You talking about jumping in now? People are getting ready for a long weekend. What are you thinking? The Zeke pullback? The Zeke's thinking pullback. I see that idea too. See that idea too. You got two trade ideas here. You got long over like 538 and a quarter, or you got short here, and then you can use that high wick as your stop. Which trade idea do we like better? The wait for long, right? I'll put a poll since some of you guys don't like to talk. You guys got to vote quickly though. You guys got to vote quickly though. Come on, let's get at least 10 votes. Let's get at least 10 votes here. Both plays are still intact here. We haven't taken out 38s. Got 5 votes. Seven votes. We got people changing their mind over here. Come on, guys. It's going up. No, he's got to go long. It's going down. Let's go short. Don't have just guys. We're gonna play a couple micros here. We're not gonna. I'm not gonna lose my ass here. I need 2 more votes. 68% of you guys say long. 38% say get into the short. That's changing. We got 9 votes for the long. 10 votes for the long. What is that? What is that saying? If 80% of retail, if 80% of retail is going one way, go the opposite. 13 votes for the long. So I should just fade all of you guys right now and go short. Yeah, that's a 61 and that's a 61.8% retracement on a fib. We definitely have support. We definitely have support there. I mean, supply there. 57% of you think I should go long. Well, now it's 50-50. Now it's 50-50. 16 votes. Here's what we're going to do. It's 50-50. We're in short. We're in short with the stop above these high wicks here, 38s. I'm going to stop out above 38s. And again, I'm going to play to both sides of you guys, since you guys were 50% short, 50% long. This is how we play it. We're in short here at a cheap short. And the reason why it's a cheap short is because we got that inverse hammer, right? We do have resistance here, okay? Buyers need to push through this. That's fine. So if we take the loss through the 38s, I will go long, because that's the original long play that we were looking for, correct? So we'll see if we can make back the loss through that long. If both of those trades don't work, let's say I get stopped out here and then I get in long and that doesn't work, then hey, nobody was right. And that just goes to show you that fucking you can do all the analysis in the world and price action is still king, right? AJ's got short. Yeah, AJ's short here. Got the vote for short. I love how a lot of you guys see the candlesticks go up and down, and the more votes come in. So now the voting has shifted to 60% long. Let's see here. I'm going to set a stop loss just above that high wick. So it'd be an $85 loss, right? An $85 loss if we do break the highs. We'll keep that stop loss there. As far as those of you guys who voted short, what would be your price target? So for me, since I'm playing micros, I might have a price target at 500, which is 20 points down, or we can try to press that into like 85s, right? Which might be 40 points. Those would be 2 price targets. I might just dump one at 500 and then hold a runner into 80s if the stop loss doesn't get triggered, obviously. Now, if the stop loss gets triggered, we can go long. right? We can go long. Then I'll be targeting like 70s. Yeah, Zeke, I'm looking at it right now. $500's a good level, yeah, 501. 88 front right now. Fuck that. I want it to go all the way down to the bottom. That's what I want. Flush it. 300s. Set it at 350, call it a day. Let the market do one of those things it does. 100-point candle. Short target 488, long target 516. Yeah, 354. Hammer it. Hammer it. Or fucking do nothing, right? Watch this thing just do nothing into the close. Yeah, they call it power hour, but I haven't been around to trade power hour in a long time. Price action is crap. 20.8 ATR. These last few candles, 15, 16, 13 points. Junk. Junk. You would think, right? The way we close today is how they want to open next week. That's how I would think. Right? But if it was me, and let's say I'm a trader trading millions of dollars, right? And I've got tons of stuff I'm holding, right? Would I feel confident holding into a long weekend? Anything can happen. World War III can start this weekend, and I wouldn't want to be long. But if this market pushes up into the close, there's a lot of confidence there that we open higher next week, right? So when you think about that, how they close today is definitely going to be a deciding factor of how they want to trade next week. Yeah, definitely would not be trading options here, DTEs. I'll tell you that much right now. Definitely right now, I'll tell you that much. This position's turned green. 20 bucks. Come on. What was PT1? 500? And then 80s? Look at that. Look at that. Flush it. Flush it. Come on. This is close there. Woo! There's the 500s. There's the 500s and the strong bounce off of 500s. That was a strong bounce off of 500s. So, I mean, I could close this out. This would be a winning trade here. But I'm just curious to see, like, I'm curious to see if the 80s gets tagged, like those 85s gets tagged, but because it bounced hard off that 500, right? Look at how hard it's bouncing. Damn near almost a break even. So I think at any point in time, I think you could have taken that $60 or whatever, $80 or whatever the hell it was when it came down to the 500s. But I'm just really trying to just let it play out just for fucking purposes, like training purposes. Yeah, I mean green and out. Yeah, if one was short, right, where we got in short originally, yeah, you definitely had to have taken your cash. You definitely had to have taken your cash because now it comes all the way. It's coming all the way back to break even, which is could be that flush, right? Could be that trap for everyone who was short, and then rip you through, right? So I should have traded 5 minis. Yeah, you're right. But nah, we're just playing around here. We're just playing around a little bit. Yeah, I could see the rip up to 560, 575s, yeah. Because if we go back to that fib chart, right? We flush down into that 50% range again, right? So look at that. You see that? How like we got short off the 61.8 in those 30s and we were targeting 500s. The next target would have been the now it's at 88. But that next target was at 85 and it came very close to it. It went to 93. Well, Tony, why'd you get short now? Why'd you get short now? We should have been short from up here. That way we caught that flush. Now you're in a predicament where you're in the middle of a range and you're hoping that we continue to push down. You see that? See, and I feel like that's what a lot of traders will do. They'll have that good analysis on the first run, they'll miss it, and then they'll be like, okay, well, now it's time to go. But now we're back in the middle of the range where now it looks like it wants to come up, right? Like if it does push through these highs, it's definitely going to come up. Oh, you did. And you got back in. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I think you always got to stick to price target one, right? So price target one always needs to be your hard take profit, and then maybe you can hold a runner and use break even as a stop. And then obviously your break even would have gotten hit there. Yeah, don't chase candles, made it back long now. See, Tony, I mean, I'm happy that you made it back. I don't like how you made it back because you're chasing, right? You made money on the way down, then you got back in short and you lost it. Now candle's green, so let me take it again higher. That's where we start to blow up, just for like future references. Like that's where you can get chopped up because let's say it didn't come back and get you, then what, right? Then what? Then we're just double whammy loss on that. Well, I'm happy you made it back, but I mean, I guess that's what you would call like, yeah, I guess that's what you would call aggressive price action scalping. You you're all intuition, huh? Great job. Let's get some likes going for Tony over there. Let's get some likes going for Tony. Let's get some likes going for Tony. This is not on Apex. This is on Top Step. Not on Apex. But truthfully, I mean, the way we took the short here, it is a strategy, right? I mean, I dropped the fib, that's on video. I have resistance, that's on video. I had a price target, that's on video. Sell into that price target. You know? Unless we're talking about how Tony traded that. Oh yeah. Yeah, Tony's operating like this, the wild wild west. But again, Tony, are you trading a valuation or is that a funded account? Tony, is that a valuation or funded? Yeah, evals is the Wild West. You can do whatever you want with those things. Lower high here. We still have failed to break those 38s. So if one was if one was looking for that long, that original long we were looking at, the 38s, you would still be shitting here. The short vote won, yeah, 100%, because of the fact that we had the price target of 500, and we came into that 500, dropped all the way to 93. That was price target one was 500, right? So if we look at that chart, you know, the thought process was either get in long over the 38s or we short here in this range, right? We short in this range at the 61.8, and then we shoot for that 50% retracement mark, which was at 499. So we came into that range. So if you were looking for that short, that was your take profit one. Like you would have taken profits there. You should have been out of that trade again on that quick scalp, because again, like the recent move has been going up. So we were just looking to scalp it against the trend. Which again, also think about this, guys. If you wanted long, maybe instead of waiting for the 38s, we waited for the 500 test, right? So that 500 test was your buy opportunity to get in for the bounce, and that would have been a good bounce because that's a 30-point bounce. You know, that was also an idea that we did not throw in there for the long, which would have been a good idea. And there's the 38s that got busted. So 38s got busted right now, and now it's pushing higher. So for all of you guys who were looking for the 38s, that would have been your triggered entry. Again, does it continue? I don't know. Based on the fibs, right? Just based on fibs, that next supply zone is in the 70s, right? And I know we had someone out there that said something about 60s was a price target, maybe. So there it is, right? So if you took those, right? If you took that, those 38s, because wasn't that what we're looking for? So I got in on that break through the 38s. It's up 50 bucks on a couple, $57 on a couple. So I'm just gonna take that, you know, just take the 50 bucks. Um Again, right? So we made money on the way down, we made money on the way up. It just required a little bit of patience, right? It required a little bit of patience. So again, $50 on 2 micros, is it life-changing money? No, but you know, it's 50 bucks. It was 50 bucks one way, 50 bucks another way. That's $100. And again, from the earlier trades we took, it was $40 one way, $40 the other way. That's $80. That's $180. And yeah, we've been sitting here for a couple of hours now. I don't know how long, but and that's taking trades on like what I would call shit price action, right? It's not like market's not moving crazy, right? Market's not moving crazy, you know, and that's missing like all of the trades that I normally take is in the morning. Like the first 2 hours is when I do most of my work. But not, I mean, not bad, right? I mean, you can't really complain. So truthfully speaking, to everyone who voted, not only did your short work, but your long work. Exactly. That's the way I see it. We just made $100 in 5, 10, 15, almost 20 minutes trading 2 micros. I want to point out 2 micros. Who does? 0 day J blows 5 accounts, 5 evals in 5 minutes. Is that what you said? Who's that? That's a streamer guy. What is he doing? He just plays Power Hour and tries to pass evals or what? I mean, how many viewers does he have? That's probably a good business model for him. Does he ever pass any though? Or he just fucking wrecks them? I'll have to check him out. I'm always game to watch other dudes. I'm always game to watch other channels. He's blown 480 accounts. How many did how many has he passed? What the hell? Oh, that's not bad. So he's making money. That's not bad. Good for him. Hey, there's the 60s. 60s are coming in. There's that 60. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, again, There's the 60s. And what was it? What was the level? What was the level here? Whoa, the chart's wrong. The level was 70 something. That was take profit 2 was 73s. So from 38s, let's call it 40. Let's call it 40, right? By the time you get in, it's 40. From 40 to 63, 25 points. 25 points. So again, you guys all sat here, we all talked about it. We fucking, you know, try to come up with a plan. There was the quick short into support, and then there was the break over 38. You guys should have all made money on that. First payout he got on 3, boom, nice, yeah, good. Good. Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, yeah, evaluations, you could trade them however, have at them. You know, if you got the cash to go buy a bunch of them, go buy a bunch of them and try to pass them quickly and then, you know, try to trade them legit after that. But yeah, cool, man. As long as he's making money. As long as he's making money. You're going to lose accounts. You're going to lose accounts. That's just part of the game. Nice. So, I mean, again, we got the 60s, blown 80 funded accounts. Yeah, well. I mean, different strokes for different folks. I really wouldn't want to blow that many of them. But if these 73s get hit, if the 73s get hit, and the guy hit perfectly, 72 and a half. 72 and a half. If anyone's, and that could be just I dropped the fucking, if I dropped the fib wrong. But anyway, 73 and a quarter I had, and it went up to 72 and a half. Perfect. Everyone just disregard any trading strategy you have. Just come back later on in the day, drop a fib from high to low, and then just play those levels. How about that? That's why I'm a firm believer, guys. Like strategies like assholes, right? Look at the original 20 SMA play. The 20 SMA play was down here entry at 946, or excuse me, at 461, and that's up over 100 points. 2, who gives a shit about anything else? Drop a fib, play the levels in between. Doesn't really matter, right? Let's take the fibs off. How the hell do I do it? Clear the drawing set. Let's drop my big chart. Okay. Here's the big chart. Okay, here's my big chart. Look at the levels on the big chart. Where was those 38s? Here's the 38s. Okay. Here's the 38s. Once it broke 38s, there's nothing here. There's no supply. So we can get in and we can take this into the upper linear regression, right? So does it really matter what strategy you're trading? No, it just matters how you're trading. That's it. Do you trust your analysis? Do you trust, you know, what the hell it is that you're trying to do? And can you execute? Right? Can you execute? Put those fibs back, right? There it is. Touched it to a damn T almost. That's crazy. That's my cue to get out of here, guys. Good trading with you guys. Yeah, I mean, enjoy the nice long weekend. Enjoy some friends, enjoy some family. Have a drink or two. If you don't drink, have some water. You know, get outside. Summer's coming to an end. Try to take advantage of it. But I mean, good trading. Decent trading. We had some good days. Had some good trades. I mean, it is what it is. All right, guys, I'm logging off the stream. Make sure before I get out of here, you guys hit that like button. See if my videos pop your guys' feeds sometime next week. Other than that, this day is a wrap. Watch us drop down all the way, right? Watch us drop down. Could have shorted at 78.6%. All right, guys, take care.